cried.
Wait, what was it you were doing?
You're playing like Jelly Bean Roulette. So there's like,
Oh,
you spin the wheel, and there's a really bad one and a really good one. They look the same. You just gotta pick it. And...
they did that with Skittles too. Like I did that with my sister and my dad, and like honestly, like the bad Skittles didn't taste too bad.
I think they all tasted the same, with like eggs or some shit.
Yeah,
pretty
I think
much.
I got rotten milk, and Erin like had to walk out of the room because she could smell it. And I was just like eating it. I'm like, I can't tell if this is coconut, it's rotten milk.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah. It was interesting, you know.
Yeah,
Cody, you missed the festivities.
Yeah, what happened?
I was using Face Rig, and I got this anime face, anime girl face, and then I was using that female voice, and like Snooter was kind of getting all hot.
You had to turn the camera off for a
Oh,
minute.
damn.
Yeah, that was the reason we were on stream earlier.
It's all good, man. Whatever floats your boat, you know.
The Leafs actually good this year.
Oh yeah.
It sucks because like this is the year I'm not watching them and they're actually doing good.
It's hard to tell if they're actually good because they're just playing the same teams over and over. But
Yeah, exactly.
that's the thing, is nobody really knows what team's good because they're just playing the same teams.
Huh. My alerts already showed up.
Crap. It's one of those seasons. They're gonna win the cup and everyone's gonna be like, who cares?
Honestly, I hope they do this year. If they're gonna win it, now's the time because they can't have a parade.
No.
They can't be like.
It'd be brutal.
Oh, that'd be great.
After like what was it? She's like 65 years. No, it's since 60 something. It's been a long ass time.
It's been a really
Right.
long time.
Alright. Now, unfortunately, I don't have just like a slew of vehicles. I should have grabbed the bag that I seen originally at Valley Village, but I didn't, and so it goes. And now we don't have any vehicles here for the Great Race, which is decidedly less great, but fuck it. It's a game of imagination, so shut the fuck up, all of you. With that said, I can actually break out Hot Wheels if we need to do some tactical maneuvering. But for the time being, what we really need to worry about is what everybody's doing on the inside of the battle bus. And really what I need is something to use as our interior. And so I think this might suffice. I'm not sure if this is too big, too small.
Get like a Tupperware container.
That might be an idea too, actually. That's not too shabby. As far as ideas go. This might be too small. But we have this, and then we have the unit. And so this is what I've always been using, and so that becomes the footprint of it. As a result. Oh, you have no fucking camera. Hang on a second.
I like it. It looks good from here.
Yeah, right on. Good stuff. Glad you like it. I like it too. I like it just the way it is. And I like you just the way you are. Alright, there.
Thanks, man.
Is that no, there we are. Share, please. Cool. Alright. So now you can see a black screen. Meanwhile, the viewers in the stream can see a magnificent spread of handsome boys. Look at you all. Sharp, dapper, and D&D.
I think I'm with a suit one day.
That'd be fucking hilarious. I'd give you extra experience for that. And the gentleman takes 50 more than everybody else because gentlemen. My justification.
Got a pipe.
Yes. Monocle and all.
Your fashion is my justification. Is that gonna work? That's not gonna work. That's gonna work, kind of, sort of. All right. You guys can see that?
Yep.
That is washed the fuck out. Holy. Let's fix that, eh? Let's get something done with that. Tune you down. Thank you. And right on. All right. Doesn't take much. I don't know why most of the settings actually hold, and then random ones fall out of sync. I have no basis for understanding on why.
Yeah, it's odd.
It really is when it comes to webcams and Windows. I don't know if everybody else has these same issues, but you set settings. I mean, you guys must experience this sort of thing. I have it on multiple machines, but you set settings, you come back, not the same settings.
Yep. My webcam specifically does that when I stream. It's like I have to reset the zoom on it every single time.
Every single time. And
Otherwise, it's like zoomed way out.
And it's the most weird shit. I've had different variables affected differently over time between different cameras of the same make and model, across multiple act differently across multiple operating systems. I mean, I've done this on Linux, I've done this on Mac, I've done this on Windows. Now I do it on Windows because everything's on fucking Windows. I thought Linux would be more efficient, and it was not. Linux is good for web development and servers. I say web development, but what I really mean is programming in general, because that's like all the platform now. What platform do you program for? All of them. That is to say, internet. So anyhow, we have right, as I was saying, boom, we have Footprint, which is yay, and then we have the Battle Bus, which is kind of womp womp at the moment because it needs more. And yeah, I just keep thinking like, what could I use? What could I use? What could I use? And I've got Bupkis. So that is unfortunate. But be that as it may, we will still have the show go on. In the meantime, gonna get another couple pieces out. That'll be this guy and this one. Hello. We're gonna go with we're gonna go with that. Bring this guy along. And all right. So before I get too far into this, welcome everybody back to another exciting episode of Black Thumb, the Rock'em Sock'em Diesel Pump Steampunk You Get to Decide in the Desert adventure that involves several gangsters as they find their fate at the opportunity of a lifetime. As they now have developed themselves a platform, a team, and the resources with which to partake in what is known as the Great Race, a massive race that takes place across all of Kalimshan, that is to say, encompassing the entirety of the desert. Like Dakar, or, not Le Mans, but shit, what was the other one there? Cross Europe. Somebody help me out here. What's that Cross Europe race? You know what? Fuck it. Like the Cannonball Run. These boys are making their way across Kalimshan from Memnon all the way down to Kalimport in what is to be the first leg of the Great Race, which is to set off in 12 hours. But why hear it from me when others are so much more qualified? Sean, again, please do take it away.
He's dead. So the city is getting ready for the Great Race. 2 days pass while we're dealing with Rico, the driver's needs. Laz goes shopping for a great axe, and I'm gonna pick one up from some greasy fellow. We get back, they're asking what upgrades we want to do. Laz asks for a tie down. There's some other work that goes on the bus. Orion goes off to find an explosives expert to cut down the mix so he doesn't blow himself and the rest of us up. Mo is looking for weaknesses in the vehicle, and I have a question mark here, meta, for whether or not he's doing sabotage. He sees that the spring may be too long, and he starts pestering Barry, and Barry just wants none of it. Barry realizes that he needs new springs eventually, and asks the Pasha for those. Korgut works out with Ruggs. Sorth hands over hand axes that he picked up for me, and he takes a horse to practice on his balance. Bjorn is working on the ballista, and Barry is working on the vehicle and developing a position and installing a backup engine. Mail comes in for the Pasha. Barry comes in asking for the other engine. Sorth gets a blessing and some grub from Korgut, and the new struts come in. We roll out. Rico is behind the wheel and getting to the start of the race. We get to the start. Nogre checks us in, and we park. Orion approaches the Thieves' camp. Mo is trailing. He's talking to the team, trying to find some allies. Mo manages to light himself on fire in an attempt for a distraction and gets peed on in the process. Orion lobs a grenade through the window and needs inspiration and fails again. Orion manages not to blow himself up, but he does try again and succeeds, and shit starts blowing up. Search party comes out. Orion makes his escape, but no one knows where the hell is Mo. Back at headquarters, the officials say the race is now delayed. There was a sabotage. We flash over to the Dragors. All hell is broken loose. Mo plays it off, and I only have a question mark here. Did he play it off that he was dead? Rico at this point walks off. He's pretty pissed off. Mo tries multiple ways to keep him around and fails, and then Laz tries to go after Rico. There's an argument at the shop. Rico knows that Orion is lying. Laz takes off to see the machines and takes a wander around being a gearhead and takes Barry and Orion. The Dragor shop is pretty fucked up. And there's to be a deliberation, and the race is on in 12 hours. That's the summation of what I got. Anybody want to fill in?
Did a fine job.
I
No,
didn't
think
take a
that's pretty
shower
much,
yet.
pretty much it. Oh yeah. Mo hasn't taken a shower yet.
Yeah, he gets to ride on the top.
I'm gonna do that. Am I right? I have the... Ah, it's duct tape. Who am I kidding? Alright, just bust it off. Woo! Right on. This will be like that, and then it'll be like that. No, actually, we'll do that.
There you go. That's something.
Oh, buddy, I got a bunch of them. We got some vehicles, don't you worry.
Is that a dinosaur?
Yes.
Sick.
Like they said, you don't have to drive a vehicle. You can ride a beast,
Oh fuck.
and that happens. People ride beasts.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh man, that is not gonna stick. I want that to stick. I really do. I believe in me. Maybe two of them will work. One at the back like that, and one fourth. And let's squish that down. Come on, baby. Yeah, that actually was all right. Cool. Bear with me one more moment. Just pull the stops. This is racing too. Fuck it. Cool. Last but certainly not least, we're gonna grab that. There's only so much room on the table. Alright, cool. There's that, and then I guess we have a reactor in there. So
I think next race, Sorth is going to enter on a cow.
Alright, sweet.
Can we just like drop a back door and have Sorth ride out on that cow? Take out our competitors?
The camera opens up, gentlemen, as the sun shines high overhead. As it casts down upon where you all are in your camp, some 8 hours later, 12 hours later, 6, 3, 2, 5. What are you doing for the next 12 hours? Hey, Laz? What do you fill your time with? Having heard that the race is now delayed for 12 hours. What are you doing?
After wandering around and checking out the other vehicles and seeing what we're up against, because that was where
Yeah,
we
so
left
let's-
Laz.
You walked around. You did a little bit of touring before, right? That was where we were leaving off.
Yeah, once we knew that the race was delayed, I was trying to convince Rico to take a walk with me to go look at other things, just because the gearhead aspect of it.
For sure.
For three of us going.
Was it 3? Oh, yeah.
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 Okay,
Me,
so
you, and Orion.
so the three of you are going around taking a look at the competition.
Yep.
Barium, Laz, and Orion, you're going to be walking around taking a look at what there is to see. That sounds alright. That sounds like a fantastic objective. How about Sorth? What's going on with Sorth? How about Bjorn?
Sorth is just gonna pretty much guard the vehicle for the
Sounds
12
good.
hours.
That's fine. And how about Bjorn there? What about you?
I'm feeling like guarding the vehicle is pretty key with everything going on, so I'm gonna hang out around there, and I'm also gonna try and fashion some racing goggles and stuff available in the workshop.
Okay, that sounds fine. Throw me investigation on that.
Ooh, 2.
The most you find a set of frames that have no lenses in them. And the strap, as you pick it up, you're like, these are, not so good. But you found goggles, sort of. The frames themselves, oddly enough, they're not in bad shape. They're metallic and they have a little bit of leather cushion at the edges. And no joke, they're comfortable enough that way. You just need a new strap and some lenses for them.
Can I look around for a strap?
And the lenses, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
All right. Sure. Let's see here. Call it odds or evens.
Odds.
All right. You find a fella who's you know what? You find a guy who's willing to sell you a couple bits. Actually, you know what? You find the gift shop. And happening in upon the gift shop, you see they've got all sorts of official Great Race racing gear. And looking upon the rack, sure enough, they've got race goggles in all shapes and sizes.
Awesome.
They've got the official Dragor race goggles, where you have big, sort of fin-like apparatus.
Slap
coming
those
out
ones
towards
out of the way. I'm looking for non-Dragor branded race goggles.
You find they've got a varied range of them. They've got the Bubbles, which is a set of traditional circular units. Let's get this reset. The frickin' video's acting up. Okay. And then of course it's just like that. What is going on? What do you do? But yeah, they've got a variety of different styles here. They've got the sort of rectangular, super narrow ones. They've got ones like what Rick's got on his face there. Totally.
Perfect.
Just like that.
I'm gonna spend some time at the mirror picking out whichever ones look the coolest.
Okay, that's
I'm
fair.
assuming they're probably like welding goggles.
You know what? You find a pretty badass looking pair of like what we would know as like motorcycle goggles.
Perfect.
To cover pretty much like half your face, and they look pretty slick. They've got comfort to them. They're 2 gold.
It's 2 gold well spent. I'm gonna take them to the front of the gift shop and buy.
And done. A moment later, you walk out, putting these on, and they've got an adjustable strap and whatnot. They hold pretty well. As you you undo the leather and you tighten them, and then you kind of wind it around a point on the frame, and they're good. So you've got goggles, and that's hardly going to take up 12 hours. But what is Mo doing? What's Mo up to?
So first, I'm gonna clean myself.
Okay, that happens.
Thank God.
And then I'll look for a helmet to put on for the race.
Okay. You happen upon where Bjorn is shopping at the same time, and looking around, find that they do in fact have a range of varied helmets for racing. They have square ones, round ones, big ones, small ones, metal ones, wooden ones. Your choice.
I'll look for a solid looking one, but
That's
not
fair.
too expensive.
Okay. The cheapest one there is 20 gold. It's made out of wood, and it has a leather interior and a large face gouge with a net across it. That's really not the right music. No, not that one. Where are we then?
Let's see here, 20 gold.
Just hoping that doesn't suck. As you guys make your way around the racetrack, checking out the various bits of competition, what you see astounds you at times. From the rudimentary form of beast that you might expect in the form of a racing elephant who can do tricks and seems rather friendly as it sprays towards you with water that it's drinking from a large pool. It and its rider, you assume, sit by their tent as they watch you go past. I don't know if you approach any of these guys, but if you're just walking past, that's what we're going to do here. Continuing on, you find a large, for lack of a better term, phallically shaped race machine with guns pointed out of all sides, a robust capsule for the driver, and a set of treads at its sides. Still forward on, you press to see that there is in fact a sailing ship floating in one of the dockways. A large, beastly looking thing that seems to have had its deck and its deck and frame fashioned from the ribcage of a whale. As it sits floating there, you note the crew milling about and thinking to yourself about engine power. Note that it does in fact have a sealed set of port areas on either side where turbines might be hiding. Moving right along, you find there is still the traditional carts that one might expect, motorized as they are with whatever fantastically massive engine upon them. And before you know it, you run into a familiar unit, Orion, as you look upon the sporty little vehicle that you happened to take joyriding out the alleyway that one fateful afternoon. Way back. Well, it must have been 2-3 months ago now.
Those were the days.
As you continue the rounds, you don't see too much else. Mostly repair facility, fuel depot, and that is to say merchants of all sorts here to service the needs of whatever racer. So if you were to need fuel, you could always purchase it, it seems. That said, let's see. The Dragers, as you set upon their vehicles, are still getting themselves set. You know that they've managed to salvage some of their fuel stocks, and moreover have themselves prepared. That is to say, one of the vehicles is laden with whatever fuel barrels it's to be cargoing for the actual race machine. The race machine itself, a devilish little number that looks like a dune buggy as we might know it, sits squat and hunched, ready to tear up the sands. However, I just realized I don't actually have the Dragers here or out. I don't. Bear with me.
Very lads. Do you see that flying ship? Now, if we could get our hands on that little piece of equipment, should it stumble upon our way, that would make a nice addition to the fleet, would it not?
How do you think we're going to take it?
By happenstance, of course.
I mean, there are how many people around here that would see us?
Well, not right now, my friend. It's just if we come across it in the middle of the race, perhaps. Perhaps our friend Bjorn knows of some tricks from his privateering days. Yes. It is a ship after all.
This race is pretty much, whatever happens, happens. It's not exactly guided by any laws, so.
Ah, yes, and we have Laz. He's a man of capable physique. I'm sure he could, how should I put it? Grab the wheel, if I do say so myself.
How do we get a big man like Laz over to that machine?
That is the real question. Laz, how far can you jump?
You are not putting those wings on me.
Yeah. Now you're
We need to
thinking.
build a catapult.
That's a good idea. Can we shoot Laz out of the cannon?
I think we can. Might be able to get one leg in the cannon.
I can throw you there.
That's a good point too. Yes, that is something that could happen. Just keep it in mind. Well, on our journeys, if we stumble across it, I mean, a flying ship would be rather useful against a flying dragon should we come across it.
But what about your wings?
Well,
That my crew built you.
my wings are of great import and are quite useful, obviously. But being as small as I am, I feel like a dragon might just swallow me if he can catch me.
We'll probably spit you out if he does.
Oh yes, I imagine I do not taste very good. I will make sure he knows that when he goes to bite me or eat me or turn me into a crispy piece of meat. I mean, you know, you're a dragonborn. Do you cook your meat before you eat it?
Depends on the situation.
Fair enough, yeah. You've never gotten the sensation to eat me, right?
Definitely not.
Ah, good, perfect, excellent. Well, you being a cousin of dragons, I mean, that must mean they don't like gnomes all that much. Especially explosive gnomes. Listen, if the dragon tries to eat me, prepare for a big boom, because I will not go down without a blaze of glory.
We'll probably just keep driving.
Oh, I would imagine I would do the same. You know, we're friends, we're crewmates, but you know, you gotta look out for yourself, right?
You know, if you're ever being chased by a wild beast, you just gotta be faster than the guy behind you.
Ah, yes, that's true. I never thought of it that way. Thank you for this advice.
Well done.
Keep it in mind, yes.
All
Oh,
right.
yes. Should we have the opportunity to steal that ship in the coming days of the race, maybe we give it a chance. It wouldn't hurt to add to the fleet and
Well,
improve our position with the Pasha.
you'll have to, run this by our driver, Rico.
Ah, yes.
We'll take any advantage we can get on the road, because this is a war of attrition, this race.
Yes, and we only have one vehicle as of now, and if that one goes down, well, we are in a world of trouble, aren't we?
I'll scavenge or take anything we can as long as it will guarantee us victory.
Fair enough.
There aren't any real rules against it, right?
I don't think so. I mean, it's not like they read us a list of rules before coming here. They just said, get to the race and race. You know, all that.
That's what I thought.
I mean, why else would they hire a man such as Laz? You know, him and his go get it attitude.
Is
Clearly.
he big, strong man?
That's right, yes.
Someone's got to lift things.
Ah,
Right.
I can't even lift the ammo up to the cannon. I can't even shoot the cannon, so... Yes. Someone has to lift things.
How did you make it this far, Orion?
With my brain, my friend.
Barry, is there anything we can't keep up with here?
Can't keep up with him.
I meant the vehicles.
Well, let me tell you, lads, there are vehicles of all sizes. Ours is a pretty big vehicle, which means speed is not on our side, but durability is. Now, some of these vehicles you see here are fairly small and quick, but we should be able to take them out if we have a good shot.
It'll do. As far as the Drakers go for now, it'll do. I'm gonna severely need to go into Valley Village and grab a bunch of shit there to kit bash together and turn into a lineup. But for the time being, haha, we have a couple cars. After a fashion, they'll do. With that said, it's as you're milling about the place, you do happen upon one more encampment of that makes you do a double take, as you notice that it's not one car but several, and they're not very large. In fact, they're really quite small compared to all the other vehicles that you've encountered thus. These are about maybe the size of 3 people put together. They're the size of like an original Austin Mini. This bunch of varied cars, and it's after a brief moment that you realize exactly why, as a team of gnomes begins to kind of pop out of the tents, bringing about a bunch of hand kegs of fuel that you can see they're stacking into the trunks of each of their cars. Each one of these vehicles seems to be well designed in terms of armor, and they're built with wide bodies and large wheels for stability and ease of dealing with the terrain. As you look over this team, you can tell that they've seen a couple races. At least some of them have, and some of them have brand new cars. And I'm gonna say you can tell that they're a gang, but you don't know who they are offhand. I'll let you guys roll history on that, if you guys care to. However, that said,
4.
I rolled a 2. Come
Rolled a
on,
25.
Oh,
I have a +6 in history.
That's fair. As you look upon them, your eyes pass over the tapestry of the illustrious, as they call themselves. And so this particular team of gnomes that comes out of a small town south of Memnon that I totally have to look up because I totally don't have the name of it because I'm awesome like that. Where the hell is...
Bury him. Look at those freaks. Bunch of losers. Those shiny cars.
They're about your size. Maybe you could find a mate among one of them.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Get a little gnomette. Take her on the round. I'm sure she'd have way more fun with me than those losers.
You sure you don't want one of the ones with the beard?
No, I prefer mine short hair.
Oh, so you like a short beard on them?
There's not much to pick from, these days. So, you know how it goes, right? I'm sure you like them tall and scaly. Sometimes you get a little bit of that scale bump in there,
And quiet.
That's what I thought.
So these guys are shit, I just lost the fucking name of it too. Damn it. Because I started looking up something else here and then totally lost track of what I was looking at a moment ago. Anyway, it's a small dockside town. It's a small fishing town just southwest from where you guys are currently, following about 2 hours outside of Memnon. These guys make their way up and down the coast as messengers, typically for whomever's willing to pay for fast service. They're known for producing quality small forged steel implements, things like control levers and I don't even know the terms for half this shit. But small platings, bolts of high quality, different sort of joinings and framing units. These guys are known for being able to forge in factory all sorts of metallics that some other folks just can't tool up as quickly as they seem to be able to. Even dwarves, while most dwarves will turn out really great stuff, it'll take them some time and usually a great deal of expense in order to turn around what that's what the problem is. Now that what was I saying? Crap, I just would have lost my train of thought.
They're the Chinese manufacturers of
yeah, they can. Dwarves will do it, but it usually is more expensive. But it will be a little bit higher quality. These guys can do it at a decent quality, at great cost, etc. So they're known as the Illustrious, and they're as you can see, all gnomes.
How small are these cars? Like, are these small enough for?
They're the size of like an Austin Mini or an original Punch buggy.
There.
But yeah, Barium, you've had stuff delivered by these guys before. They're efficient. Their deliveries are expensive, but their parts are cheap.
Amazon.
So with that said, that's the last race team that makes up the place. As you guys make your way back towards your camp, you can see Morsi is looking over the fuel stocks, having picked out specific ones for loading into the bus, and Lavash is seeing off the last shipment towards wherever it's headed to go to meet up with you later on. It's at this point that you guys happen to notice the Pasha's coat hanging off the battle bus. As Sorth, you come stepping out of the bus with the Pasha, who is giving a steady nod and looking around, as you've spent the last couple minutes watching him just look over the bus now that it's finished and situated at the stands. And what's more is he's brought you a wrapped bunch of dried jerky, cow jerky. So with that said, as he's walking out of the bus alongside you and Laz, sorry, one sec here. As we go to there, okay. As Laz, Barium, and Orion, you guys make your way back. You can see Sorth and the Pasha stepping off the bus. As Bjorn, you make your way in from your purchases, as does Mo, arriving soon in behind you with his helmet. As you guys step off the bus, the Pasha looks over towards Barium and gives a nod. A steady and soft-lidded, sort of somber mood to his face, although you can see that he's smiling easily enough. As he comes across and as he comes across the floor space towards you, he opens his arms slightly, and he does one of these and bids forth, gesturing towards the door, and says, "Come with me around. I have brought something for you all." And he brings you guys around to the side of the shop, and you see he's got a small cart there with a couple couriers he must have paid to bring the cart with. You don't recognize them, but he draws back the rag that he's got spread across this small cart, and he gives a clap to the boys there, and he says, "That is all." And he takes out 2 coppers and flips them towards them. The young men take the coins and rush off as he gestures back towards the cart and says, "Please, I implore you to take what you need." And you can see that the cart's laden with various foodstuffs, more of the jerky, for example, casks of ale and wine, and water, lots of water actually. And you can also see there's leather-wrapped wooden bowls stacked up on top of one another. There must be like 48 of these in there. And he says, "I had these put together such that you will not have any lack of supply while on the road." As you guys look them over, the bowls themselves are actually full of prepped rice, ready to go. And the casks themselves, like I say, they're about yay, are easily stowed wherever you want to stick them inside of the battle bus. The Pasha looks around himself for a moment and at the cart and says, "I knew that I would have some time to bring these to you, for I heard of a disaster. You wouldn't happen to know anything of this." And he grabs one of the wrapped pieces of jerky and undoes it and starts gnawing away on it.
It was really fun.
Les is gonna load up his arms with a couple of cats and a bunch of food that he can grab and be like, "Nope." Just start heading up towards the buzzard pile.
Sort of just gonna grab some jerky and just walk away slowly.
The Pasha looks around and says, "Let us get this loaded into the bus." He looks at you guys expectantly, though. He doesn't actually grab a hold of it and roll it himself. He just chews the jerky and walks off.
Let's start loading up some of the food stuff.
With that said, there's a little bit of a montage showing you doing so as he looks over the bus and says, "So this is the moment, huh? We are finally here. I have put in some words with some friends. I
have a question. Do any of us know, other than Mo, what happened? I don't know if Laz actually knows. He probably is suspicious because he doesn't trust Orion, but I don't think he actually know.
I'm pretty sure I know what happened, but I'm not positive I do know Orion's lying to us.
Source knows nothing. He knows that someone exploded something and they could have it to his ship too. That's it.
I don't think Barian really cares at this point because so much shit's happened. It's like, some other bullshit's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of shut.
So, what I was gonna say is, oh, I hadn't already. Oh, that's handy.
Look, he's gone now. He could be doing something else. He's blowing something else up right now.
What's that smell?
He's going back to those gnome guys.
Going over to see the gnome ladies.
The Pasha looking you guys over, shit, I lost my train of thought with this too now.
Sorry.
Batting 1,000 today here.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. I got the fucking attention span of a gnat, it seems, of late. The Pasha says, I had to call in some favors. I had to speak to some friends about some possible support out on the road. I also heard some news. And he takes another bite of the jerky. And he looks around and he says, "There was a rumor of." Well, I simply have to ask, where is that little bird friend that we took upon ourselves? The magistrate is a bit perturbed that we may not have answers to that.
I'm hungry.
We got him into the Dragor compound. He should have made contact with us.
The Dragor compound. He takes another bite of the jerky.
They sent a messenger to insult us when we were refining the fuel, and we thought it would be best if we showed what would happen if they continued to cross us.
He gives a nod at this, and then he looks around, and he says, "Who is we?"
Us, Orion. There was some other noble family who some sort of politicking, and they had their own problems with the Dragors, and we thought to team up.
Lavash.
Lagrash, he says.
Lagrash.
Ah, yes.
Lavash,
yes,
he is in the back. Lagrash is the family you speak of, and they are the family who are friends with me. While it is true that you may have met them, it is me, not us, who has ensured that the Lagrash family may provide you some protection out on the road. It is I, not we, who has brokered arrangements with the magistrate in the absence of his bird friend. It is you who has caused problems for me to solve. And it is me who provides you opportunity. It is me who has brought you to this point. Never forget this. This we business, while I appreciate the initiative, you must understand there has to be a head to this organization, lest we fall into disarray, chaos, and subsequent failure. However, I should say, the Dragors are hey, this is what you did because they insulted us. You make me proud. Yeah.
We're not finished with them yet, but their debt of blood is beginning to be repaid.
He gives a kind of. You speak mighty for one who is in the position that we are in. Bjorn, you must respect how small we are still in this. Do not for a moment believe that you are not in grave danger, and that the moment that the race begins, you will be a target, assuredly. You all are a gigantic target in that bus. May Rico drive as his life depended on it, because at this rate it very much does. And he looks around for a moment and says, "Where is the driver?" And you guys realize you haven't actually seen Rico in a while.
I don't know.
Maybe he's throwing another one of his little hissy fits about the race being delayed. You guys seen him anywhere?
I mean, last I had, and this is outside. Last I had in my notes that I had gone after him. We'd gotten him back to camp. There was an argument at the shop between Rico and Barry, or Rico and Orion, and Noah explained that he knows that Orion is lying. And that was the last set of notes I've got on here.
Ryan, have you seen Rico?
The last I saw him, we were enjoying our drink around the fire. So he said we would try and work it out.
We need somebody to track him down.
Where did he go now?
I can do it.
I thought he's staying here with Bjorn and Sorth. And Mo, who, was sleeping.
If he doesn't show up, I guess I can drive.
How long do we have?
There's about 8 hours left before the race.
Listen, I've got to go to the store to get a mask, but I'll keep an eye out for him. We should probably spread out and try and find him, should we not?
I think that would be a good idea. But we need somebody to stand guard on the bus.
I'll watch the bus.
Okay, well, be sure to give Source some jerky. I'm sure he'll enjoy that while he watches the bus.
I'm gonna shuffle more jerky over and kind of put it in a little pile beside me as I sit there.
Okay, sounds good.
I can go search through the other vehicles. Which is just Laz's excuse to go look at big vehicles again.
He's got to be around here somewhere. I don't trust that he would just run away. Even if he bitches as much as he does.
He seemed to have calmed down, so this is rather worrisome. It's unlike him, especially this close to the race being underway. Perhaps I will stop at the thieves' camp again and see if they have any information.
Whatever you do, don't cause any more trouble. That's why he was pissed off to begin with.
I didn't cause any trouble to begin with anyways, but I will listen to your words, and I will be good. I will keep to myself.
Maybe you need to go give him a back rub when we find him. Cheer him up a little bit.
Maybe.
Show him you're not such a bad guy.
Yes. I could just give him some snow dust and a free night with the courtesans.
Just don't piss him off.
Very well. I hear you, my friend. Okay. Well, I will be on my way. I don't know where you are all going, but I will keep an eye out, and I will talk to the thieves and see if they have any information as well.
It's a short search. Throw me investigation.
All of us, or just Orion?
Whoever's helping whom, somebody makes the roll at advantage.
Investigation.
Whoever has the highest investigation, really.
I have -1, so it's probably not
I have
me.
+3.
I have 0.
If it requires intelligence, it is not Laz.
What about
+3
Bjorn?
the highest?
Oh, I'm also not all that bright.
Alright. You
No,
said I had
George,
advantage,
smart.
right? You said it. Alright. Oh god, the first roll.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's do better next time.
Oh,
It's an
okay,
advantage, you're fine.
anything is better than that.
Snake eyes.
No shit.
2 in a row.
Oh my god, that is not
You
much.
find Rico dead on the side of the road.
So my advantage roll was a 7.
It's a couple times that you pass by the cantina before you think he's probably just in the fucking cantina. And sure as shit, as you guys walk in there, you don't see him. At least, not at first. But then you see the Draenor soldiers. As the crew members and soldiers depart from their table, you look over towards that table, and what should you see but a few guests of theirs, kind of drunk, and one really drunk. As they pass by you, one of the Dragors looks directly towards you and gives you a nod and a smile and says, "Don't drive drunk, huh?"
Who's that fugly fellow?
As they mill their way past, one of them smacks the kid upside the head and then says, "Oh, sorry, kid. Didn't see you there." As they make their way past, filing out of the place.
Fight him, Mo.
Alright then. Fireball?
No.
Just so you know, fighting in the like cantina or in the grounds is like you could get banned or you could get thrown out. So there's rules to this shit. I'm just saying. But
I'm gonna grab a hold of Mo, just drag him along.
with that said, you guys can see Rico there.
Time to grab the drunk guy out. All right.
He's not looking good. But
Rico's going over the shoulder.
Laz, as you pick him up, you know, why don't you all tell me what your passive insight is?
9.
2.
16.
Oh,
Passive inside. I got a 10.
I have a 12.
And
12 and the 16, gentlemen. He's looking pale as fuck. This boy's afflicted
All the
with
city had
something.
a drink.
Bjorn, looking upon him, he doesn't look like he's just drunk. He looks like he's drugged.
What have they done to you?
As he's like, hang on, is he standing or is he hanging off Laz?
He's hanging off of Laz, like over the shoulder, like.
So he's like,
trying
he's
pass
talking to
out
you like
the-
this? So he's
Yeah.
like, so what all you get?
Is there a doctor here?
Camera pans against you guys looking around the cantina. No. Do you want to shout out? Is there a doctor here or anything like that?
I don't know if you want him to get the doctor at the cantina.
True.
Let's roll odds or evens on this. Odds or evens?
Evens.
That's one for each. Tiebreaker.
even.
With that said, as you look around, amidst the few drunks, crew members, and the bartender, there's no doctor here. But that said,
I
Bjorn.
mean, is there a medic tent associated with the race?
Yeah, more than likely. In fact, you know what? You guys have done enough of a tour and looking around for Rico. You guys saw it. You guys could take him there right now if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'd be headed. Pretty much over the shoulder.
Are we all there? Sorry.
How long?
So far as I knew, yeah, you guys were all as a team going out to look for your driver. And you
Sorth
were
is-
Except for Sword, he was watching.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorth is of course dutiful.
I've seen this before, I think. If the doctor can't cure it, I have an idea. Let's go see the doctor.
Well, we need to hurry.
And so,
Hopefully his health isn't in danger.
with a
How long
quick,
do we have before the race?
it was
8
about,
hours.
it was about 8 hours, and it's been about a half an hour as you guys were looking for Rico. And so here you are at 7.5. Going towards the doctors. I mean, there's another 5 minutes really getting there. But point being, nickel and diming all the way down. Doctor's encounter was another, we're going to say, hour and a half as you guys arrive upon there. And there's a montage of you guys arriving upon what is basically like a makeshift temple of Lathander and Tyr. And as it's made of like, we'll say it's a lean-to structure erected really quickly and kind of banded together with metal joints, and then it's got a nice robust door upon it. It's a spacious building, rather large in fact, at a 50 by 50 footprint. And coming inside, you can see that they've got basically a cordoned area for treatment, and then the front area where they've got a rotunda and a set of priests in there. A couple of them milling about amidst the crowd as one of them approaches you guys and seats you down kind of in a triage manner. They take down a few notes about what's going on with him, and they look him over, and as they do, the cleric in that case, he looks him up and down. It looks poisoned, eh? Do you know what kind of poison it is? Is it poison? He looks him up and down. It's certainly poison, has to be. He tilts his head back, checks over the eyes, and takes his pulse. Weakened. Does the business. He gives you guys a nod. Sorry, Orion, go ahead.
Could I roll an investigation, being that I've dealt with poisons before?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, I rolled a 15.
In this case, it looks like he's ingested something as you look him over real briefly, and you don't see any cuts or nicks or scratches. And given you found him in the state, it would make sense somebody dropped something in. With that, you imagine that it's some sort of spider's poison that's been placed in it. It's a simple draft that can be fabricated, or maybe some scorpion stuff. Any variety of off the shelf poisons. Doesn't take anything special, is all I mean. Not to say that it's amateur hour, but it's not really complicated to make somebody sick like this. He's not suffering any a special paralysis, it doesn't seem. He's kind of like floppy and floundering, but he's definitely dying.
Okay. I'll sniff his mouth.
Doc, I knew I smelled this. This is some kind of poison. Perhaps.
Arachnid poison, yes.
Yes.
You are correct.
Yes.
You are correct. You are astute. How did you clean this from smelling his mouth?
I've dabbled in a few things. Arachnid poisons was one of them. Pest control.
The fellow leans in and sniffs the mouth himself and seems to take a mental note of this. And you think to yourself that you've now left your mark on the medical trade, having incited the idea that the smell of ale leads to poison in the body or something. Anyway, but you've left your mark on the medical industry is really what it comes to. As the camera pans against you guys, and he looks the body over, he raises the skin for you and shows you like the guy's veins are robust, and he says, you can see the stringency here. His blood is having difficulty moving. If you set your palm against it, don't press. You're liable to cause death.
Do you have anything to cure it? Anything?
Yes, I do believe we can address this. However, it is a donation of 20 gold pieces. You understand?
I'll look back towards the others.
It's more like extortion than donation, but
do not misunderstand. Your friend will receive treatment, regardless of payment. And he picks up the fellow and Rico. Sorry, the fellow picks up Rico, and he's swaying and whatnot. And suddenly Rico tries to act out, and he's like, "No, I need help. I'm Rico." And then he kind of like stumbles forth after the fellow, as the fellow walks off and says, "Okay, very good. This way then, this way," and coaxes him into the room as Rico just about stumbles and falls over, and the guy actually like leans down and grabs him and leads him off to the cordon kind of treatment area. And as he does, he simply says back, "Will anybody be staying to collect him? He will be about 4 hours in treatment."
I'll stay and keep watch over him.
All right, fair enough. Bjorn, you take the dutiful position situated by his bedside or just outside his room. I don't know, whichever. Actually, it's by bedside. The treatment area is just like it's cordoned off, but it's like many little cubicles, and they've got cots in them, and so you're situated next to him there, and he gets what looks to be a draft of some sort down the gullet, a bunch of powders that they pinch together and drizzle into his mouth, and then finally just water that they pump down through him, and they keep it going. You watch as basically they're like filling him up, and he's like, oh, and then they let him like drink it, and they're like, it's going to be terrible, and you're going to have to suffer through it. And so they just keep like feeding him water to help him filter it out. And as he's doing this, the fellow looks to you and kind of gives you a half-hearted smile. It's a living. As your friend's just gargling.
You do important work here.
I tell myself the same. And it cuts from there to show your companions as they make their way back towards the shop, I'm assuming. Very good.
Yeah,
How
I
many-
wanted to find a mask.
Right. And sorry, Laz?
And how many gold pieces did they say they were looking for tribute of?
They wanted a donation of 20, ideally. And so 2 platinum
Okay.
to save a life.
I'll
I was gonna say I could see Laz dumping in. I mean, all I've got left now is silver, but I could see Laz putting in 10 gold worth.
Sure.
no, the Dragors will cover this. Their messenger donated a little platinum to our race team a week or so ago.
The priest says, in the poor box if you could. And they've got like a little donation box there. It's solid steel and chained to a large piece of rock.
Yeah, I'll slip in the 2 platinum.
Okay. Camera pans against Barium and Laz and Orion and as you guys and Mo, as you guys are making your way back towards the shop there. Mo was with them, or he was hanging back with Sorth?
No, I was with you guys. I was like not it when I
Yeah. So that said, you guys arrive back in upon the shop. It's been all of like another hour. So at this point, you're about 3.5 out from when. You're 4 hours away from when Bjorn and what's his pickle there? Rico will be rejoining you. Sorth is still watching the bus. What the 4 of you need to do before race time, which is now 7 hours away.
got the childhood injury, so I'm gonna start running around.
Okay, that's fair. You guys watch as the kids just jumping off shit, parkouring up and down stuff.
Mo, stop it! Listen to your uncle. Stop it.
Can't catch me.
We need to give him some of that purple medicine, knock him out.
Yes, something. Shopkeep. Do you have any masks of sort to protect my face? Should we come across a sandstorm?
As you look over the shelving, as he points towards, and you look over the shelving, he is pointing towards. You see that the masks are in short supply. However, he does have a couple stylish units, mostly leather ones that wrap around the face from the lower half. He's got one full face mask that just has the tiniest little eye holes and a grill across the face. And a couple of scarves,
Yes, I like this one, the full face one. Yes, this reminds me of the days when I was on the ship and had
he's
to
not
cut
even listening
someone
to
up
you as
into
he
little
grabs it
pieces
off
for
of
some-
the shelf and looks at it and then looks at you and then kind of just unceremoniously shoves it over your head to fit it. You feel him like snug it against your head and then adjust it to look at you directly in the eyes, giving a nod of satisfaction. He pops it off your head right there, and then you watch as he expertly pokes a couple holes in the back of it, and before you even know what's happening, he's already sewn a button on, and he starts getting another on. You watch as he quickly sews the corners of the slits, and a moment later tests it, puts it back on your head. You feel as it suddenly wraps around, and he buttons it. Perfect.
Excellent.
And he
Thank
steps
you.
back,
How much?
staring at you for a moment, and then says, 7 silver.
Okay, yes. hand him the silver.
He takes the coinage. Done.
Well, that is all I need, friends. I don't know what you need, but perhaps we should see how our friend Rico's doing.
That's like all of 20 minutes later.
You might need some more time.
Can I do a backflip?
You do a backflip. Throw me acrobatics.
Oh, don't break your neck.
Yeah, it'd be a shitty way for this character to die, like really now.
That's great because I just rolled a 6.
You managed to almost do a backflip. It's like you get up into the air and come down on your back.
Ooh.
You take a point of bludgeoning damage. Or falling damage, I guess, in this case. With that in mind, yeah. Camera panning against all of you guys. As Orion walks out of the shop and you guys continue walking down to your tent. And there it is. And there's the bus. And there's Lavash and Gento situated out front. And they're looking like they're enjoying a flagon of wine. Actually, the cask sitting next to them as they're in the open heat. Both of them shirts off and sand blowing past.
And I think Laz would, knowing that we're not going to be seeing what we just loaded onto the bus for food, looking to get a good, decent meal before we get on this thing. So if I can send out for takeout.
That is a thing, sure. You flag down one of the raceway runners, and put in for what, like some shawarma or something?
Yeah, basically good cooked meat, things that you're not going to be able to get when we're on the. I mean, like I saw what we're going to be taking. We're taking bowls of rice, jerky. Like I'm looking for a good hot meal, load up on some protein.
Yeah, that's possible. All right, cool. The individual looks at you and gives a nod at your request, and simply gives an "it will be done" in Kalashite before taking off, and coming back some maybe half an hour later. Is this just for you, or are you ordering for the crew?
Can I afford for the crew? I've got 150 silver on me. I don't know what I'm looking at to cover dinner here.
Depends on what you're ordering. You wanted to like order a lot of food? Like a big feast is gonna be maybe 30 silver.
Oh yeah, I mean, like we're going into this thing, and this is a night before, in turn for his viewpoint, night before a big battle. Oh yeah, I want to feed the bastards.
With that said, you hand over a bunch of the coin, and you hand over this coin, and the individual trucks off, making note of your tent and whatnot. What do you guys do while waiting on dinner? What's going on at the shop there? Anything special?
I'm nursing my small bruise.
Fair enough. Your shoulders are sore, I have to admit.
I'm gonna ask the healers if there's any potions or like anti-venoms we could buy for the road.
They give a nod at this and say, "We are selling them. We are offering them at a rate of 40 gold for anti-venoms. They are guaranteed to clear up all poisonous toxins, that sort. If you wish, a draft of internal curatives, we can offer this for anywhere from 50 to 250 gold pieces for a bottle draft."
Well, that
Actually,
fancy
sorry,
venom.
I'm
Sure, Rico.
I'm increasing price. Sorry, it's gonna be 60 gold and 260. That's 10 above book.
60 and 260. It's a little bit more than I can afford, but
Raceway prices, baby.
hopefully, if we need you, we'll find you at the end of the each leg of the race.
You guys do have your race budget too, eh?
How much have we spent on that?
Who did we elect treasurer?
That was Barry that was being given the money, right? He was
It's
the one
been
that was
embezzled.
1,000.
running
It's been
the shop.
embezzled. It's all lost to penny stocks.
Wait a
All I
minute, was it
know is
me?
that It wasn't me.
Spend it all on GME.
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't remember.
I don't think
probably
we spent any of it, except for when we rezzed Bjorn.
Well, we initially started with like 20,000, but that was to build the vehicle, right?
My notes say 18,000 left, so I don't think we've spent much. Or I haven't been keeping track. I'm not sure which.
Well, we got the ballista for free. Well, not free. We had to fight for it. But we put the then there was, what is it? The ballistas on one side, the cannons on the other. The cannon. Did we pay for that?
No, I think the vehicle's like 95% stolen.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The
Well,
cannon is for
we got some
salvage.
money. I mean, while we're waiting for this thing to come along, though, I mean, I could picture Laz turning to Barry and being like, "So, how are we doing this Orion thing and getting on other boats here?"
You guys have time to do some shit. I mean, most of it's just been, saving Rico's bacon, but you guys do have time to do some
Are
shit.
you just saying this in the open around the fire?
Well, yeah, because they were just. I mean, Laz is just kind of hanging out, waiting for food and thinking, and I'm like, you mentioned trying to get over there, and I told you I'm not going to get on your wings, and I said I'd throw you, but it's kind of like, yeah, how are we going to get? Like, I want to hit that guy with something. That's really Laz's thinking. Like, I want to hit that guy, and he's not close enough for me to hit him. He's on another vehicle. Like, I want to know, how do I go hit that guy? Is my thinking.
I have catapult.
Well, we do have a much taller vehicle than most of the vehicles in this race, so maybe we can use the ballista.
Bjorn's ballista could hook them in.
Like,
And
he's
we
got
can,
it rigged up as a, what do you call it, right? Outside of
harpoon.
talking harpoon.
Yeah. So maybe we can, zip line our way over.
Reel them in.
Or
Yes.
reel them in. They are much smaller than us. We have weight advantage. If Bjorn can connect a shot, we can tow them at our will.
And Mo, you said you have some sort of ability.
Yes. I can
Launching.
throw you if you
You
want.
can throw me. Can you throw Laz?
Yeah. Probably.
It's
So-
brilliant.
As an outside thing, then did you then possibly disperse money to the team for per diem? Would Bjorn actually have cash on him as part of his per diem for functioning then?
I just joined and I'm a little kid. I probably don't have any money. at all.
Incidentals, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the only money I have right now is what I took off that dead messenger.
Don't ask for source for any money. He broke.
We're all actually pretty terrible at getting paid for the work we do, I guess.
Well, I think it was like whatever's left over in the budget, we get to spread around. That was part of the deal, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
you
guess
guys
the
are-
question is how much of that 18,000 would have been spent by like the other workers in the workshop and that sort of stuff? Because I feel like that would have been part of the
Say
budget.
like at least 10,000.
Aiden, I got paid by being able to build this glorious bus.
We're getting paid?
That's how I feel.
Orion, but could you put that money to use with your buddies?
Yeah, I'm sure I could. How much money are we talking here, and what kind of services are you looking to gain out of this? But why don't we grab a drink and we can go talk to them? Work out a deal.
After dinner?
Yes. That sounds good. We have enough time, right? We have plenty of time.
We don't want dinner to go to waste, so sounds good.
And that'll give Barry time to decide what we're purchasing.
I don't know for sure I want to purchase these health potions.
It's very responsible of you, Mo.
Thank you. Who are you in?
I'm your daddy.
we could pick those up when we pick up Rico the drunk.
That's what you're doing?
Well, I mean, we're waiting for dinner first, and then with dinner, I don't know how far into this we would be in terms of time for picking up.
You guys are bantering for however long, and before you know it, which is actually half an hour later, you're surprised to see a handcart show up. And along with it, a bouquet of smells that sets your mouth to work, producing a whole lot more saliva than you were waiting for. And before you know it, your stomach's rumbling, and your eyes are really focused on the pile that is revealed by a simple flourishing wave of the rags that are raised off of the cart. Within the cart sits bowls of fried meats, stews that have spilled over a little bit from their ride in the cart, but are otherwise mostly in their massive bowls still. Several trays for everything to be layered upon as it's all removed in sequence from the cart. And finally, on one large covered tray, they lift the cover off, and there's basically a giant side of beef on there, adorned with, just a plethora of varied stuffs. And then finally, to your surprise, the fellow brings out a final pair of trays and sets them out. They are also covered, but he takes the covers off and sets the covers to the side, and he says, "You can keep the containers, the 30 silver covers it, and this is dessert." And you see that there's like some pastries on there, and a bunch of kind of nut treats, like crushed pistachios and shit.
And then I will. I'll see if I can flip him a couple of coin. Tell him to bring two meals worth down to Bjorn at the medical tent while we're eating. Wait,
Yeah, Ryan, look at those nut treats. You just
I love nuts. I love them.
He does so, wheeling off with a bunch of the stuff for Bjorn and Rico. It's not 15 minutes later. They're just gonna roll up to the hospital there. Now, sorry, not the best time to be eating, I know. As he's oh my goodness. As you're sitting in the hospital, not a lot is happening. It's mostly boring here. There's the occasional mewling of somebody complaining about one injury and another. Most of the people coming through here are crew members. Not that there's a lot of people. There really isn't. But pretty much everybody that comes in here is a crewman who has hurt themselves working on one of the vehicles in some fashion. Loss of thumb, crushed foot, took a knock to the head, got covered in some strange fluid, and their skin started turning colors. But overall, the place isn't so busy. As you're sitting there attending to Rico while he pretty much just has like fever sweats during the course of the time that you're situated next to him. He obviously his body is racked with whatever it is that's hitting him, but it's about an hour later that he calms down some. He pisses himself a bunch as the water and everything, just fluid, drains through him. And while this is all happening, like over the course of an hour, the priest walks in and says, "The antivenom, did you wish it?"
The one dose should be sufficient for him, correct?
Oh yes, for him, this is fine. This is a free service, what you see here. However, this, and he holds the draft, this is 40 gold.
As I said before, I can't quite afford it, so we'll have to make do with thoughts and prayers.
And may you go with the grace of your deity then. He
Thank you.
steps away with a bow and disappears from the doorway. With that said, a veritable mini buffet suddenly shows up for you as a fellow suddenly walks in with an armload of trays and bowls and looks at you, gives a nod as he seems to recognize you, or at least the description of, and sets the food down for you. After
Do
a
I
pair of
recognize
these,
him?
hey,
Do I recognize him?
I want to say that you've seen him around, but you don't like.
He also
know him.
shovels food over the witch's tit. Weekend job.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like the driver beside me literally just got poisoned. So if I'm not recognizing the source of this food,
He looks at you, eyeing him up, and doesn't really think anything of it. And then he finishes bringing the second load of stuff in. So he brings in a bunch of stew and rice, sets them down, and says, "No need to pay. Your friends already did."
I look to him and I'm like, "Have you had some food yet, my friend?
He says,
I'd like you to help yourself.
He says, "Oh, no, I could not. No, that would not be great."
I suggest you help yourself."
He raises an eyebrow. "Truly, that would be rude of me."
My friend,
Feed the priest. If it's good, you fed the priest and got favor. If he dies, you have an answer. And you got free anti-venom. Just saying, it's a win-win. I know it's a little too meta, because last kid
yeah.
that shit up.
my friend is lying here poisoned. You come bearing food you won't eat. I suggest you try some.
He looks down at the food and looks at you. "I do not understand. What is wrong with your friend?" He simply asks.
Earlier today he was poisoned.
"I am sorry to hear this. For what reason?
I don't know.
Was it the scorpion? Did he get bitten?"
We found him like this in the bar.
"Ah, it was a snake."
Maybe.
"I'm sorry.
Some sort of snake for sure.
I'm truly sorry for this, if this is the case."
Who put you up to bringing this food here?
"A large gray man, who, one of the teams, has a large bus. Actually, it would say bus. Has a large block of a platform." "There was a lizard there too," he says.
Okay. And you brought it directly here?
He kind of cocks his head. "Yes." He looks down at the food and says, "I mean, I would not mind."
Well, you must be tired. Sit and eat with me. I feel like he won't be able to have his entire portion.
And so it is. The fellow sits down. It's not long after that the priest comes in to take a look at what's going on. As many of the acolytes are distracted by the smells that are wafting from the food that is in your room.
Is there enough to share with the priest?
There is.
I invite him to sit down and have a meal.
He does so.
If he has the time.
He does so, taking a kneeling position and taking some of the rice in a pinch and joining into the conversation. I guess go ahead and roll me. Gosh, I wanna give you a skill check on this, but really it's just a charisma check. But regardless, you can, I guess, throw me performance.
Ooh. Math 1.
Brute. Okay. You end up getting yanked into a conversation about religion with the priest, and just drug along as he bitches and complains about other religions and how they're not tolerant of other religions because they're just wrong in how they look at other religions, and those other religions just don't know what's up, you know. And let me tell you another thing, that religion in this day and age, and he just goes on like this for however long, and talking in circles, as one might, before finally filibustering the whole of the encounter, thanking you cordially, and leaving behind his rosary, his Bible, his which is also his spell book, and a small sack that he took off his belt and set to the side. Now you know what's in that bag. You know that bag is where he kept that antivenom.
I'm not gonna touch it. He's a distasteful man, but if I wanted to take it from him, I would have taken it off his belt, not off the table.
The young delivery fellow thanks you cordially with a burp and excuses himself. And as he does so, he once again turns around, and just as he is about to leave, says, "I am truly sorry for your friend." And
thank you.
He leaves after that. Camera pans against you for a moment. It's actually some while later that Rico starts to come around. And as he does, the priest walks in to look upon the patient that he was curious about at that exact moment. How about that timing? At which point he notices his stuff and says, "Oh, I must have forgotten this." Collecting it together, not thinking anything of it, he walks in towards where the fellow is situated on the bed. Rico looking up at him with bleary eyes. "I feel terrible," he simply says. "What happened to me?" He burps something fierce, and you see a little bit of like bile seep out the corner of his mouth. "I don't feel well." And the priest kind of looks at him and holds his head aloft as he grips him by the hair and says, "You will be okay. You breathe. Breathe in, breathe out." And he takes him through some breathing exercises there for a moment. Rico gets his bearings together, and a moment later he's back on his feet. And the priest simply bumps him in the chest with the bottle and says, "Here, for next time, you'll be safe. Now go. Go with the grace of Tyr."
I'll thank the priest again for taking care of him and for providing that antivenom for next time.
"Oh, there's nothing. Please, thank you for providing such great foods and amazing conversation."
It was conversation anyways. And I'll help him to the door.
Okay. Camera begins against a lot of you guys as you're situated in the shop. finishing up food as you progress to do what?
So Laz is going to strike up the conversation, hopefully between Barium and Orient, saying, so what do you think we can get out of your contacts?
Well,
What are you looking to accomplish?
To
that
finish the race?
it all depends on how much we are willing to spend from the coffers, my friend. It's the Thieves Guild. They can do a plethora of anything. From robbing a bank to stealing the purse of a nobleman's maiden to stealing an airship in the Great Race. Yes. Now, if this is something you're seriously considering, we should bring it up with them now before the race starts. What do you have planned, Laz? How do you want this to go down?
I don't want to have to ride your wings over to another boat.
Hmm.
This is all self-preservation.
So perhaps a small spout of sabotage. And then recovery by our recovery team, you know? The only problem then is we have two vessels. Barium, how do you feel about this? How would you feel about running in the race with a flying airship and our glorious battle bus?
I will take any advantage we can get. Any way we can get it.
And I'm sure you would like to see the inner workings of one of those glorious floating ships.
Oh, I would. You know me.
Well, what do you say? Should we go have a word with them? I mean, we have nothing but time on our hands at this point.
I'll go with you.
Laz, would you care to come along?
I'll come and keep an eye on you.
Okay, all right. Very well, let's go.
You guys head out. You guys head up from there. You guys are... Sorry. Choking there for a moment. Oh shit, I totally gapped on train of thought here. Before I get too far into this, what's Mo doing? You're kind of sitting there not doing anything. What are you doing, Mo? Are you tagging along? Are you hanging back? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow them.
Okay.
I'm interested in sabotaging.
With that said, so where are you guys headed exactly?
We're gonna go to the Thieves Guild camp again, and we're gonna see if they would be interested at all in performing a small task for us in sabotaging the floating ship that's in the race, because we Laz and Barium and I are quite intrigued about perhaps taking this ship over should we stumble upon it, you know.
Sure. You're not going to tell them that part, I imagine.
No.
Okay.
We're just gonna put it in a way that maybe they shouldn't be faring so well in the race. You know, like we want to be able to beat them.
Excuse me. Roll me persuasion.
Okay.
See how this goes on the outside. Right back.
Okay. 12. Whew. You think that's good enough?
Oh, you're gonna die.
You just killed me. Hey, can you guys hear this? No.
Nope.
Damn.
For Dooley's door, I didn't hear anything on your end.
What are we trying to hear? What's happened?
The voice mod program that Rick and I have has soundboards now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a pistol sound.
Oh, right on.
Oh, that's really retarded. When you want
Wait,
to-
where is
Just
that?
what I love is when the players are doing their own sounds. It's great.
Honestly, I was gonna if there's good ones here, I was gonna suggest it to you.
I'm kidding. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. As long as it's good.
Wait, how do you activate that?
You gotta update. I don't know if you did the update. It's in the top left. It says soundboard.
I see a soundboard here, but like there's nothing in the list.
Click. It says create new profile. It's got like an arrow. I don't know how to get it to broadcast though.
But where do you get the sounds from in the list? Like there's no list here for me.
Oh,
It
really?
just has a plus symbol, and that's it.
I just went just above that. There's a little menu. But
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
oh, I heard that. What the fuck? Why does yours work? Mine doesn't.
All right. Anyway.
Anyways, I rolled a 12, by the way.
Cool.
That too loud.
The negotiation goes surprisingly well. As I rolled shit all around. Like literally 4, 5, and 1. So long and the short, yeah. You talk rings around them, whipping up all sorts of stories about opportunity and dreams and what the sands hold for people like us, yeah, and all sorts of jazz. And before you know it, they're just goo-goo-eyed for you. And so that is to say the conversation goes very much in your favor. They're not gonna just fucking go out there and do your dirty. But what it is they're willing to work with you. That is to say they're willing to put forth some effort if you're willing to put forth the cash. If you're willing to put forth a few bucks that they need to get the job done, they say. But they're gonna do it. They're on board. You can tell. You know. You can see that right in their eyes. They got that hungry eye of the tiger sort of shit going on there. Yeah. But point being,
I can see you're intrigued. You want to do this for us. So, what resources are we talking about here? What kind of?
they hem and haw amidst themselves as a bit of a committee. They come forth with the final figure of excuse me, around 15 platinum. Oh, sorry,
okay.
no, 150 platinum. So 1,500 gold.
Okay. Well, let me talk with my associates.
As you're saying this, you can see one of them scritching and scratching on a parchment as they fill this thing out, and they're nodding along as you're saying what now?
I will just need to talk to my associates and make sure the coin is in order. And I'm certain that this transaction will go through without a hitch.
The one with the quill holds it up as if he's got a question.
Now, what's this?
You wish to take it out or take it over?
That is an interesting question. What do we intend to do with it, my friends?
Oh, there's other people with you here?
Well, I thought Barium and Laz, did they come in with me or no?
I'm fine with it. I don't really care. I'm just
Yep.
making sure.
Yeah, we're here.
Did we simply wish to impede the exploits of other competitors, or do we look to add to our fleet, as it would be?
Add to our fleet, of course.
Who's gonna
We
drive
want
it?
better toys.
Well, it would appear that me and my crew were thinking about possibly gaining from the misfortunes of others. If you understand my meaning.
Oh,
The response is simply that they do, but not to the scope. What do you mean they want clarity? Like, what do we get out of this? What's going around? What's the big pay?
Well, if this vessel were to come to some sort of mechanical failure of sorts, and we were to stumble upon it, and get it back up to working speed under our control, perhaps the Thieves Guild would like to take part in this in some way. Perhaps we could find a use for some of your crew aboard our vessel to join in the glory and share in the wealth of the race.
So this is to be a joining of alliance. We're to be partners towards an end goal. We'll have a ship, is it? Is this to be logistical use? Is this to be for some sort of deliveries and whatnot? What is this to be for?
Well, you see, if we were to take over this ship, I, as captain, could certainly turn a blind eye to any illicit materials that may be stored in the bottom of the decks, and moved around throughout the legs of the race for the better of the guild. I'm sure there are plenty of items that the guild needs moved around discreetly, without any question.
He gives a nod at this, and says,
This may work. This may be a good bargain. I like this. We can work with this. It is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for business. I like this.
Yes, business and glory and all of that.
So it is to be, huh? Okay. Okay, so we will see about funding. And the fellow kind of makes a couple extra notes in the background as the negotiator is speaking to you, and then he hands the parchment forth, and the negotiator grabs the parchment and hands it over to you. And as you look over it, you can see it's like a list of things they need and what the budgetary amount for them is. And then their total expenses seem to come out to about 1,100 bones. And then you can see he's literally got there scratched off whatever remains as profit. And then he's just got 1,500 circled at the bottom.
I believe we can work with this. As I said, I have to speak to the coin purse of the group, and we shall see that you are paid in full.
If you wait too long, the skiff we want for 600, I will have to pay 900. If you wait too long, the price go up. Not for us, but for the skiff. And he, as he points towards you, you look down towards the parchment as he's talking about this insurance shit. They've got skiff on there, as well as several explosives.
Very well.
But,
we will make haste.
I wanna make the-
Shall we, friends?
I want to make the point on the parchment. They've got options. It's a very professional quote, actually. He's got options where if you want to blow up the ship, you're paying for grenades and danger pay, hazard pay. It's actually an expense in there.
Okay.
But if it's just to take it over, there's still a hazard pay, but it's less because there's not as much bloodshed, and they're not using explosives, so don't have to pay for
yes.
those. Yeah.
Sorry, I misread what you said here. This is a very thorough ledger. Yes, so the explosive part, everybody dies. We don't want that. We would prefer a simple exchange of the vessel.
There's a couple
To
groans in the back. And to which the one negotiating says,
friends.
don't pay any mind to them. Don't pay any mind to them.
I too love explosions, but this time around we need to be a little more civil. So perhaps
My mother
we can-
uses things like you to pleasure herself.
I will ignore that for now because we are in a business discussion, but next time I assure you, your nuts will be mine.
Yes, let us keep this professional.
Anyways, I'll have you know I have a hell of a shot and I will not be afraid to use it if I... Anyways, yes, we would like this part here where the vessel is commandeered and majority of the crew is spared for use. Yes.
Okay.
Think of it as an exchange of their vessel for nothing to us. But of course you get paid.
He gives a slow nod at this, and as he does, you what's your passive insight?
10.
He looks like he understands.
Yes, so if you can handle this, I will make sure you're paid. And then once the exchange is complete, perhaps at a rest spot, we can meet again and discuss the cargo that is to be stored at the bottom of the vessel.
Gives a slow nod at this. You see about the funding. We go from there.
Very well. Thank you for your time, and we will speak soon.
Yes, I hope so. So with that said,
I'll look to my companions and start to make my way out of the tent or wherever we were.
okay.
So we should make our way to Bjorn. Yes, he has the funds.
Yes, we should.
How do you all feel about this? Do you think this is a good investment?
What else are we going to spend it on?
I mean, I
The
don't
race
think
is here.
I don't think we're gonna find another vessel for this kind of price.
We got to remember, I mean, we saved a massive amount of money by scavenging for
Yeah,
our parts here.
Yes, and we also lost 2 lives, but well, I think, anyways, I haven't seen Matt in a long time.
I only seen him the one time. Where did you guys leave him?
I don't know. The last thing I heard was I told him to go boom. So let us be on to the medical center.
What is that gigantic sound?
Cody? Is that on your end?
It's not me. What was that?
You guys look around for a moment and realize you guys just were passed by the T-Rex as it walks away into the distance, roaring as there's looks like a big leopard on its back hanging on.
Was that Soul's mother?
Ooh, I want to see.
No.
Lizard people don't get that big.
Is that a vessel? Is that somebody's? I don't know. We need to get these funds. Let's just get out of here. That was something.
Just watch out. We don't need you to get squashed.
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
Laz, how do you feel about all this? Do you think that meeting went well? Is that how you wanted it to turn out?
If I don't have to jump off the bus, yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's be off.
Are we making our way to Bjorn now? Or are we heading to pick up him and Rico?
Yeah, we got to get some money too. So.
Are we deciding I had the money? I didn't think I did.
Well, somebody's got it.
I don't have it. That's for sure.
Do we have to talk?
I mean, I thought Barry had taken on because he was running the shop.
money?
He was cutting the bills. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Plot twist: Gary had it this whole time.
It's gone forever now.
Half to Gary, half to Matt.
I mean, judging by the group, I know it was either Bjorn, Barium, or Orion.
Well, I know.
Barium's just mechanic, so.
I don't remember it ever explicitly being given to us. I think it was available to spend, so I feel like we'd have to talk to the Pasha if you wanted to get money for it.
Yeah.
Put it on a tab.
Okay, well, we'll still go there because obviously we don't. We think Bjorn has it, but he doesn't. Obviously.
Yeah, I don't think we ever decided legitimately.
We'll go to the medical complex, I guess.
Yeah, because if the decision is that the Pasha's been holding it, you just kind of go over there and, fill out a disbursement request.
Yeah.
You may want to start writing that up as we're doing our walk here and come up with a reason as to why we need the money. Pretty sure telling him that we're gonna try and steal somebody else's race car isn't gonna endear us to him anymore
No, we're
unless
not.
we're successful.
No, we're making allies with the Thieves Guild. Yeah, that's all. You're forgetting we're not stealing anything. We're gonna.
I know. I
There's just a very good chance that we're gonna stumble upon this vessel in the middle of the desert.
I'm gonna talk out of place here for a moment. We just got to be real careful because while the Pasha's been happy with the results, he was pretty insistent upon the fact that he's the one that makes negotiations, not us.
Fair enough.
So,
yeah.
Telling him we need a check to go buy a part is a lot different than saying we need a check to go forge alliances when he's the one that's supposed to be doing it.
True.
I'm just saying.
call me
It's
crazy.
like me. I have to be reminded that I need to stop putting Bjorn in situations where stealing shit would give us the answer and he refuses to fucking do it.
Remember, gentlemen, Sean here lobbies for the U.S. government, so I'd trust his fucking words here. Just my professional opinion. Also, I forgot that the Thieves Guild has a vehicle too, so that's gonna be it. Because that's the closest thing I have to Batmobile with fat tires. So you yeah, having yourself a conversation there with the boys of the Thieves Guild, and then moving on to have a little internal conversation amongst yourselves about this. And now you got to go and have a little conversation with the Pasha himself about it, don't you? And Bjorn and whatnot. But along the way, you're going to be picking up Bjorn, aren't you? Picking him up from the hospital where, as it happens, Rico is starting to come around at this time. As I was saying, getting himself straightened up, able to walk again, seeing straight, counting backwards from 10, not complaining about the volume of the color green, stuff like that. So he's doing much better now. With that said, he looks to you and says, did you stay by my bedside this whole time?
We
Have I been here how long? Days, it feels like. Weeks.
it's
How old
it's
am I?
been,
What year is it? He says to you.
it's been, I'm sorry to say, 6 hours. You might not recognize your family anymore.
He simply looks at you gawking, and he says, I feel like that every time I go home, so nothing new there. Okay. And he gives you a clap on the shoulder as your pauldron rings against his hand, and he says, thank you, my friend. That means something. Comrades
we
in
need-
all things. Good thing. Good thing.
A man's crew comes first, and I needed to ensure you were safe for the race.
Where a moment ago he was being somewhat like dismissive and facetious, at those words he stops and he just looks at you, looks into your face, and kind of scours around for a moment looking for something, and for the moment it looks like he almost finds it. And then he simply gives a simple nod and says, very good, my brother. Then let us be off. And he says, for we have a race to win. And he heads off towards the doorway of the hospital as you follow in behind. The priests give a wave. He gives a wave and a puree as he leaves. And a moment later, you guys find yourselves back walking towards the shop as you guys run into your crew, who is coming to meet you. And from there, you guys are a party once again. That said, you guys are going to be, I'm assuming, heading back to the race machine. What are you guys doing exactly at this point?
Well, I'm just gonna ask, like, Bjorn, how was the food?
Oh, it was great. Thank you for sending it. I had thought it was you. The delivery man said it was sent by a blue man and a lizard, and
There aren't too many of those hanging around.
and I hoped. The man was kind enough to taste it first, so.
And then I'll walk over and I'll wrap Rico on the back, like one of your buddies would, knowing that you're pretty hungover. You just grab him by the back of the neck a little bit, give a little shake, like, good to see you, Rico.
He rouses slightly, but more like just herks and jerks back and forth, then still kind of listless, but still there. You know what? No, he's recovered quite a bit during the walk back. As you grab him and jostle him back and forth, he does his best to resist it and then holds himself stoic as he can, recovering slightly. He's sore all over. I am well. Thank you, big man. That was rough of you, but I appreciate you. You are large, he says. And then he turns away and continues walking towards the workshop.
I'll rush over with my little stubby legs and just jump and hug him.
As you land against his crotch, he looks down and he says, hello there. Oh, it's you. Okay, yes. Hello.
My friend, I'm so glad you're alive. You were poisoned by some sort of arachnid poison. I smelled it on your breath and I immediately knew you were probably going to die. And I'm just really glad we got you there in time, because we are probably about 32 seconds away from you being dead on the floor, and we would be without a driver.
He puts you down after that and says, I thought you did it. And then he continues walking past.
What the hell?
I dreamed it was you. Don't ask me. Who did this to me anyhow?
God.
Do you know who did this? He asks as he's walking backwards. The who?
Dragors.
He stops there dead in the street. No. And
Well,
then
they were
suddenly
the
he
last people
watches
we saw
like
with you.
his eyes go wide and realization hits him. And he says, I remember now. Ugh, those bastards. So they fight 32, huh? This race has no honor in it any longer. And he simply turns around and walks sternly off towards the workshop. We will win! We will take back honor for this race. You guys follow, I'm assuming, making your way back towards the shop, or back towards the tent. it's now, what is it, 3.5 hours? 3 hours to race time.
Yes.
And it shows.
Yeah.
The place is starting to pick up in activity. Crowds are starting to collect together once again in the stands. The runners are moving very feverishly. You can see parts start to move even quicker up and down the alley as if, you know, what's even left to fix on anybody's engine at this point. But, you know, in the distance, you start to hear the unmistakable sounds as various machines are fired up. This and that and the other thing gets started in the distance. Various systems starting to fire up as everybody starts to test their machines out to ensure that they're ready for that moment. It is, like I said, now 3 hours to go time. You see kicked up exhaust, dust, and a host of various odors waft about the camp, waft about the raceway, as all of the various engines start up. And of course, you also hear, amidst it all, one angry lizard that roars out amidst it, as you see a leopard, large and in charge, wide-shouldered and proud in stature, standing with folded arms and what looks to be a Mai Tai in one hand, as he simply leans over and sucks off the straw, looking at all the vehicles around, as the T-Rex situated next to it, the massive, terrible lizard, leans down towards it and gives a comically sad whine towards the leopard. At which point, he simply looks up and gives the thing a pat on the nose.
Has anyone seen the Pasha? We need to have a word with him. We have a little business arrangement.
I have it.
We need some spending money.
As you guys are making your way back towards the shop, I want to say that the Pasha is around. He is, as you guys arrive in upon the place, enjoying some of the food. That was left over from the buffet from previous delivery. And as he looks upon you guys with a bit of rice stuck on his face, he says, "This is quite good. Why do I feel like you have something to say?"
Well, that's because we do.
Then out with it.
We have much to say.
Out with it.
Well, you see, I was working with my patriots at the compatriots at the Thieves Guild, and we came to a small arrangement that should benefit the entire team, and we need to make a withdrawal from the race funds.
At the mention of the Thieves Guild, I kind of spit on the ground.
So I'm knowing Bjorn, I'm gonna grab him by the shoulder and kind of walk him towards the bus. Be like, "So you and your gods, can you bless our vehicle?" And just try and move him stage right, away from the discussion of stealing things and blowing shit up.
The Pasha takes
not
note
above
of the
board.
spit and then watches as you do this and raises an eyebrow, giving a smile and a nod, and then looks towards Orion and Barium, and then looks back towards the bus where Sorth is situated, and then looks across over towards Mo.
Hi.
And as he does, he says, "Hello, little boy. Would you like some food? You look like you need food. You must grow big and strong."
Yeah. I can use some food.
At which point, sorry, he looks back towards you. He looks back towards you and says, "What is it then?" You wish...
Yes, we need 15 100 gold from the race funds in order for the Thieves Guild to assist us in in our task of winning the race. I used my connections, and I believe I can get us an inside track to coming out on top in this race and bringing glory to yourself. I believe Bjorn was upset because he could not attend the meeting as he was seen to Rico at the medical tent.
Rico.
I've been upset too.
Rico was in the medical tent.
Yes, the Dragors, we believe, we suspect, tried to attempt to poison Rico, and we were able to track him down, and I used my magnificent nose to smell some poison on his breath, and we then took him to the medical center.
Is he alive?
Medical center.
Is he alive?
Yes. Yes, he's alive, yes.
Okay. He takes a moment to think about what you've just said, and then he says, the reason that Bjorn would be upset at this is for the fact that I would have had a conversation with him, and now I must have the same conversation with you. The importance of having a head to this organization is such that we have one point of decisions. Now, in this case, I ask you, what benefit is it to us, this alliance that you wish to develop? What cost do we have a 1,500 gold, 150 platinum that we will put forth? And what do we get for this return? What return is there for this? Mansoor would have me up against the wall were I to suggest such a thing. A coup, an alliance, a sabotage. These tactics they have no place in this field. I understand. I understand the tendencies. They are my own. However, anyhow,
We
I
are
wish to hear what you have to say.
We are buying a spare vessel off of them, which they
for 1,500.
Yes, I was very, very persuasive, and they did owe me some money from a heist about four years ago. They never paid me out. So
I will wish to see this vessel for 1,500 of the monies that we are putting forth.
The 1,500 would be put down, and the vessel would be granted to us somewhere in the middle of the race. It's in a different town at the moment because they did not have the crew to man it.
Hey Bjorn, can you show me how this ballista works as a harpoon?
I'm muttering about slavers and cutthroats as I triple check that everything's secured and start showing you how to attach the winch to the ballista bolts and that sort of thing.
I'll kind of side-eye bury him as I finish my sentence and like kind of expect him to back me up here, like say something.
I'm not helping you. It's not happening.
Do you believe that this alliance will prove most beneficial?
Barium, now you are part
success?
of the leadership too. This is a organization by committee now. This is
You would never
my
bust about
organization. My organization that I started. I hired you each, upon which you have arrived to this organization as an individual with talents. Talents that I saw the value of, that I have been paying for the value of. Ugh.
If I must be honest,
I do not wish to dally in these petty specifics about hierarchy of all things. We have a race to win. Okay, so you wish to make alliance. Okay, you need 1,500 gold. Okay, so it is for a vehicle. Yes. I do not trust the quality of such a vehicle. Barium, speak to me. Speak sense, please.
You brought us together as a crew because you wanted us to build you a machine and win you a race, correct?
Yes. But I wish Mansoor was here.
We are attempting to utilize every source possible to make this dream come true.
In a legal way. We are not doing anything illegal against the rules. We are buying a vessel off of another company. And how they acquired that vessel, I don't know. But we are still legally buying it from them.
There's one fact we must remember. We have a target on our back.
The Pasha doesn't actually say anything to that. He just nods. Slowly. He doesn't even look. He just looks out the doorway. Gives a slow nod at this.
Rico is proof of that. I mean, they tried to kill the man.
And that scares me. If we lose our driver, then what?
All eyes kind of turn towards Laz in this moment. And the Pasha, he just looks at you and says, no offense, but no. Just no. No offense, but no. You have better places to be positioned upon that thing, he says as he looks towards the bus. So, he looks towards you all.
If you will allow us to withdraw the funds and purchase the vessel, it could be of great use.
He fumbles around under his robe for a moment, and then he pulls forth a pouch, and he undoes it with the clasp, and from within he withdraws a scroll, and then a bunch of seals and some wax. And it's a brief montage later that he's put together a writ for you guys. And he says, take this to them. It is as good as money as at any financial institution.
Thank you, Pasha. We will do this right away, and you will not regret it.
You may have hired us as workers, but you have been a great friend to us, Pasha. I hope you trust us the way we trust you.
If you keep this up, I won't have much choice. That is what I'm trying to establish here.
I'll quickly make my leave to the Thieves Guild camp to pay our debt.
As you take your leave, crossing across the place, a moment later finding yourself amidst... It's killing me. I cannot remember the name of the crew here. They have a very distinct name.
Started with an A.
The Thieves Guild?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Gnomes?
The Thieves Guild. The gnomes.
Oh.
The gnomes were the illustrious.
Yeah, I was like, I know that one.
I thought it was like Aladrox or something.
Oh, it's killing me. Oh, that's bugging the shit out of me. I remember the Thieves Guild from my other campaign, but not this one. I seriously don't have a fucking note of it in here either. It's really killing me. Okay, seriously, what is this?
Don't shoot me.
Okay, so you can hear that.
Yes, now we can.
Yeah.
So can we do like an ATM withdrawal if we go to the Thieves Guild? Like, we owe them 1,500, right? 2,500, and they give us $1,000 extra. Just saying.
I mean, yes, technically. that is banking in the medieval age. It's through guilds and shit, right? So,
I mean, did the Pasha give us a blank check, or did they already have a number written on it?
no, he already wrote out the amount and everything for it.
Ah, crap. That requires forgery.
I mean, you could probably do that.
Little check fraud. I love encouraging terrible behavior.
Man,
is it
what the
sleight of
fuck?
hand? What would that be?
Probably a forgery kit if we have one.
Oh.
Yeah, it becomes
okay.
a tool proficiency.
Forgery kit. Yeah, I have thieves' tools. That's it. perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the previous session to actually remember the name of the Thieves Guild. Damn it! Feel like a numpty there. All right. Well, with that all in mind, so yeah, you guys make your way. Where the fuck are we? Holy fuck! All right. So you guys, yeah, where the fuck are we?
We were still negotiating with the Pasha, finished that up. He left the building to go pay things off, right? Is that where you were?
That was Orient. What are you guys doing? Is the question.
Yeah,
I mean, I was still there getting instruction from Bjorn on what we're going to do on this bus and how we're going to fight.
Discussing various boarding actions and that sort of thing.
Okay, so you guys are just gonna sit around strategizing. Barry, anything specific you want to do? Sorth, how about that? And Mo, what about you?
I'm still looking for some healing, so
I didn't know you were looking for healing to begin with. What's your excuse me? What's your investigation skill?
0 + 0. Oh, you mean passive?
You can go ahead and roll investigation. And yeah, there is a passive investigation.
I got 19.
It keeps reminding me of that, and I always forget.
I got 19.
Stuff. You happen upon the hospital, and they tell you they have them available for 50 and 250. And they look at you and say, "Do you have a patron, young man?"
Oh, you mean a smelly old man?
You have a smelly old man? He
Yeah,
smiles as he says this.
I think his name was... people called him Pasha.
You have a Pasha. Then perhaps he can cover this debt, huh?
Sure.
He gives a nod at this. Okay. So you bring monies, and we give you these potions.
Okay. I'm on a quest to look for the Pasha.
Alright, with that, there's a montage of you looking for him. You find him. He's out. He's actually trying on shoes as you're about to walk past the shop, and you see him inside. He's trying on some dainty slipper style shoes, because of course he is. He's the Pasha.
Hi, mister. What's your name?
He looks upon you. Oh, it's you again. I am the Pasha, so far as you should know. Yes?
Wow.
Boy? He looks down towards his shoes and then looks up at you and then looks back down at his shoes again.
You see right here? I have a bruise because I tried to do a backflip, but I failed. So now I need medical insurance.
Yeah. He gives a chuckle at this. Medical insurance.
Yes?
He looks you up and down as you roll persuasion on this.
I'm so good at rolling. 11 plus 6 is 11. Or 6 plus 6 is 11. Wait,
Oh,
no,
shit.
5 plus 6.
What'd you roll total?
I rolled an 11.
Right on. I rolled 15 plus bonus.
I guess that makes sense.
He looks at you and says, "I do not have time for this, boy. What is it that you need?" Medical insurance you will not have. You need a lollipop. Perhaps a diaper change. What is it that you need?
But what about emergencies?
You have an emergency, boy.
Yes. What if I get blown up? Like when I was hanging out with Orion.
Boy, I don't understand what you are on about. Are you to be blown up? Is somebody trying to blow you up?
Yes. Back at the camp with the big burly men who pissed on me.
What?
You know.
The Pasha looks you up and down in disbelief as he stares at you. Somebody beat upon you.
Yes, I was on fire. It was part of the plan.
He screws up his eyes and cocks his head. Why were you on fire? And why was somebody peeing upon you?
It was part of the plan.
He just raises an eyebrow sharply that makes his brow look like GME stock. Except going the other way, obviously. It's like inverted. The point being is, he stares at you just like not understanding, and then finally says, "Had I known that you were as fucked up as your father, I would have braced myself for this news. However, all I can say is I am not surprised." And he just simply gives a nod at this, and he says, "I need a taco," and he walks off.
I'm saddened, so I don't cast Fireball.
Fair enough. And shit, Rick, that's perfect. Except for Sorth. They need an armored one. I wonder if can we make these? Can we actually make, like, could we get a 3D model of a dragon dude and use it as a face rig? Is that a thing we can do? We can do that, can't we?
There is a guide, but like I'm not super experienced with this stuff, so I wouldn't be able to do it.
Fuck, that is cool.
This
Man.
is just an Argonian.
That's sweet as fuck, and it works, right? I mean, when I'm doing cinematics, that's what I look for is Argonians. If I'm doing Dragonborn, same difference.
Yeah, I can move it around.
Lizards. Anyway,
It
no, it's
loosely flies.
fucking cool, dude. Like seriously, as far as we're concerned, it's just as good as anything could be. It's perfect. Lighting could be better, I will say.
True.
Inside of the mouth and shit.
It depends who makes it, you know.
Yeah.
Like there are different colors too.
I think it's brilliant. Anyway, getting off topic because why not? It's D&D. Where were we here? Is it's color change too. So at this point, as the Pasha walks off, leaving you in the street, the camera kind of hovers above you for a moment as you do what? Where's next on
Since I couldn't get the
Moses?
money, I have to steal it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to steal the supplies I need. Just
Naturally.
basically, health potions.
Of course. Right, so a moment later we find you back at the place, the hospital as it were. There's the main entrance to the place, and the building itself is a lean-to otherwise, so there's tiny windows and gaps in the walls, but otherwise it's just a lean-to structure with metal bandings at the corners, and otherwise a solid structure for all intents and purposes, with a single set of doors at the one side.
Okay. So I'll try to go through the doors stealthily. Is there anybody watching the door specifically?
I mean, yes, there's a paladin fellow who hangs out. He doesn't have like a formal patrol. He walks in and out. He walks around the place. He talks to people as they're walking by. Helps people with their stuff, cargo. He's helping a person load their wagon as you walk up towards the place. He bids them adieu, greets a couple people in the street, and then strides back proudly towards his hospital, as it were. And he walks in through the doors, just ahead of where you are there. Holds the door open for you.
Okay. So
He's dressed
I'm
in
going-
full plate, and he's got a massive fat amulet hanging off his neck, but like in a choker style. So it's like just sitting in his sitting underneath his Adam's apple, and it's you can see like a heart with the symbol of Lathander upon it.
It's actually a sun with a heart in it, with the symbol of Lathander within that, which is also a sun. Anyway, I'm having fun with this. But so he's very paladin. Is what I'm trying to say. He's lawful paladin, right? He's like a whole other alignment altogether.
Okay. So I'm going to set myself on fire.
How are you
And run
doing
towards
that?
him.
And how are you doing that?
Firebolt.
You're gonna firebolt yourself?
Yeah, just like. Or actually, is there any torches nearby?
I mean, yes.
Okay. I can use control flames near them and just have them just like leap out on me. Have them spread across my clothes. Like a blanket.
You're like that monk that set himself on fire, eh?
Mhm.
Except without a cause.
This is a good cause. I need health potions. I don't want to die again.
You'll definitely need them after you light yourself on fire.
So, okay. Fuck, man. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, that happens. Shit. All right. The torch burns suddenly, ever so brightly, as a conflagration of flames rips forth from the wall, as a stream of flamethrowerous flame, I just coined that, comes in towards you, enveloping your entirety, and immolated as you stand. You watch as the paladin fellow shouts in, "My brethren, there's a boy on fire!" And then they all rush in with their penises out and they pee. I'm kidding. They totally don't. He runs over and he grabs a hold of your ass. And he fumbles with you for a moment, but he manages to grab you and drag you over towards the trough and dunk you in. And with that, that's what I
Help me, mister. I need.
Boy, are you alright? 16 plus bonus as he smacks you across the face. Open hand slap, as it were. 16 plus bonus is gonna be fucking, what is that for him? 22 to hit your AC. And, yes! 5 experience, whoever just spelled that off. Well on. And, with that said, he stares into your eyes. Look at me, boy! Look at me with sense and tell me who the gods are! And he just waits for it. How many fingers am I holding up?
I close my eyes and just like lay down limply.
He drags you out of the water and sets you down on the soil. Gives you a bit of lay on hands for a hit point, so he cures what he did on you. And with that said, stands up and pees. I'm kidding, but he moves on from there. He says, "This boy is healed. I can do no more." And he gives you a quick bow. And
I
walks
grab
away.
his leg and just like, wait, I need to go inside this house and lay down.
He looks down towards you as you lean forward, and he says, "What's that? What is that, boy?" And he kneels down towards you, and he says, "Do you need help?
Yes.
Do you need more help?"
Help me, I'm dying.
"I can do this for you, boy." And he picks you up in both arms. "You're but a babe. You shall not be suffering." And he rushes inside. "By the thunder's light, you shall know no more suffering." And he puts you down on the bed there, to a couple priests' protests, and he says, "There's no other patients. Good doctors, clerics, sisters, brothers." And he places you down on there, and he kind of holds up his hands and says, "This lad needs our assistance in some fashion. I'm not sure what, but I've seen it firsthand. He's fucking crazy." And he walks away, and the priests come around you, and they start checking you over, and they start pulling your clothes off. And you watch as one after the next, there must be like 6 of them, all with like 12 hands in total, grabbing a hold of you all over as they murmur back and forth about various facts and statistics of the human body that you've never heard before, and you're not a human. But as they continue to pick over your body and take all your articles of clothing off one after the next, stripping you forcefully but carefully, and with intent, professional intent. One sits nearby after a moment, now down 2 hands, but still so many. He scratches away on that parchment feverishly, the quill flying back and forth as you lie naked amidst them, and they stare upon your naked body and judge you for what you are.
Okay.
As they scratch away on the parchment, looking at you, they then murmur out, "Where does it hurt? What sort of pain do you suffer? Is it internal? Are you suffering emotional? Are you menstruating?" As the camera pans against your face and shows you in a most horrible, awkward, terrible position, amidst those that can't possibly understand you, amidst those judging you, not seeing you for you. Anyway, how do you feel about all this, anyhow?
Okay, so I'm gonna act confused. I'm just like, I'm gonna act like I think they are somebody else. And I'm like, "Father, is that you? Tell me, where is your storeroom?"
One of them steps forward and simply casts a few words. And I need you to make me a shit. What was it? A DC 14 con save, I think it is.
Oh damn, are they attacking?
Hey? Not exactly, but
1 plus 3. That one. It's 4 actually, but it wasn't that one.
oh, never mind. It's not even a con save on your part.
Oh, that's great. So I straight up would have died right there.
Oh, you don't know that. You're just assuming he's trying to kill you. Like, why would a fucking cleric be trying to kill you?
If I killing by accident, I have like 22 HP.
Fair. 8 and another 13 for 21, plus 5 for 26. No, I got that wrong. 31. So how many hit points do you currently have?
21.
You feel yourself growing quite drowsy, and a moment later, fall fast asleep as you fall backwards
Waking up in the
upon the
garbage.
bench. And I mean, what can I say? You dream of wonderful things, and not so wonderful things, probably. In fact, you probably dream of a lot of not wonderful things. But, you know, you wake up eventually. You're dressed. You remember most everything up until you fell asleep.
Okay.
Sort of. But you're dressed, and you have your things, actually. And you come to in a bed, of course, as you should.
Did anybody notice me waking up?
Sorry?
Did anybody notice me waking up?
Yeah, I mean, there's a cleric nearby providing a bit of care for one of the nearby patients, and looks over, glancing towards you, and simply gives a nod. coughing upon the patient that they're attending to, they then say, "You're awake, very nice. Can I help you there?" And they come towards you, hobbling over and cough upon you slightly, giving you COVID-33, and then lean you forward and jostle you out of bed. At which point they cough some further. It's now COVID-66. And then gives you a pat on the ass and says, "You're healed. But now you've got, like, COVID-99, so... I mean, what now, right?" Oh,
Yeah.
shit, Stella! Stella! Subscribe.
How long has he been gone? Have we noticed Mo just
You know what?
missing?
I'm gonna say it's like, yeah, you have noticed.
Because
You've
like
totally
at this point the
noticed.
race is pretty close to starting, and I'm sure we're like, hey, where's Mo?
Right?
Who?
I'm sure the cabin boy will find his way back.
The fact that that isn't showing up alerts kind of pisses me off. So,
Perhaps.
who's gonna go searching for him, and who's gonna be all faithful?
Not it.
At this point, Source
Yeah,
fell
running
asleep
gang.
on top of the bus.
Source, why don't you come with me and let's go find Mo before this race starts? I mean, if we have to leave without him, we will, but I would feel bad as uncle leaving him here, you know? And you've got a good nose. I'm sure we can track him down.
Is Mo the weak, fragile one?
Yes, yes.
We don't need him.
Yes, you're probably right, but he would make a good snack if you got hungry.
I'm
Maybe
up.
his uncle should get him.
Fine, I will go look for him.
I'm gonna close my eyes and go back to sleep.
Inasmuch as you're sleeping for the comfort of the hammock that you have available here, it's also for the vibrations that you hear and feel, I should say, from the various machines all around, and the occasional rumbling roar from the terrible lizard just yonder, whom you have to admit you feel a strange affinity to, even though you know you shouldn't. So just saying that too. That said, though, the search party heads out. The search party of one, is it?
I mean,
So-
if anybody else wants to come along.
I'm loving Space Dragon Rick.
The camera pans against Mo's face. What's going on there?
Alright, so that guy's still coughing on me, right?
I mean, you're healed. You're free to go.
Okay.
You're cured. You have COVID 120, but you're alright.
So, man, I still need those health potions though.
Yeah, that's what you were
Okay.
originally after the whole
I'll
time.
ask somebody
and then you
nearby
lit
what
yourself
time
on
it
fire, and then they took you in and they treated you, and you have no idea what they did to you while you were asleep. But now, poor little tiefling boy being sent out into the world again.
Okay. Use my super smart brain to figure out what's going on. There must be like a clerk on the front desk, right? I'll ask him what time it is.
He looks up towards the sun, and then he looks at you and he points at it. It's
I
about
am
midday,
better
my
figure
lord.
out what that means.
It's about midday, my lord.
Thank you.
Of
And I
course.
give him a little-
I don't know why this guy in
Um,
Calimshan has a
spit.
British accent, but I'm just tired of doing the really racist ones.
drool from my mouth, spit on his desk, and wipe it a bit. Wipe off my chin too.
He gives you a nod and says that spot too, and then he spits on it and he does it himself. Oh, with that said,
Going away.
as you move to leave, you watch as he gets up, pulls his shorts down, and starts to piss all over his desk, and then he takes a rag and he polishes that in,
No, I'm kidding. He totally doesn't do that. But anyway,
If
he
you
puts
did
his
that,
feet on the
I'd
desk.
say I have PTSD. I'd run away like hell.
That's all it was. It was just your PTSD. As you're like, is that what he's doing? No. Fuck me. No, it's not happening. All right. So anyway, with that all in mind, you make your way back towards the shop. I'm assuming the tent. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right on. You make it back towards the race paddock. From there,
They healed me fully, right? The medics.
Hey.
Medics healed me fully.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, dude, you come out of there with full hit points.
I didn't have to pay anything too.
It's true.
Wow.
Not gonna argue that at all. 100% cured of ailments. In fact, you know what? Just because I'm a prick.
Oh god.
Just because I'm a prick. You have 5 temporary hit points on top of that.
Let's go.
So with that said, the counterpans against you to come back from paddock. Meanwhile, the search party is out with no idea that the kid's back. Ain't it always the way as a fucking parent, eh? Like, shit.
Yeah, Orion's gonna get sick of looking and knowing that, you know, the race is gonna start right away
Fuck
here.
this
and
kid.
I still have
I'm
to,
going home. You do so.
I
You
still
head
have to
back towards the
drop off
paddock.
this
There he
money,
fucking
so-
is. It's been a half hour later. You guys have like a fucking hour left before this race. What the shit are you
Yeah.
guys doing before it's go time?
I'm just gonna forget about the kid. I'm gonna run to
You
the
come back to
Thieves
the
Guild.
paddock, yeah, and there he is. You already discovered.
Oh,
there he
oh.
is. You got an
All right.
hour left before the race. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, did I pay the Thieves Guild already? Did I do that?
Yeah, that's all done too.
Oh.
I thought we
Well,
did
I'm
that.
gonna-
Did we not cover that part? Oh, I'm
No.
sorry. There's been so much going on. Okay, yeah, that part happened. By the way, you come in upon, they're like, yes, you have the money. And you're like, yes, I have the money. And they're like, yeah, very good. And then that was it.
Perfect.
And then you have a dance off. Wait, wrong campaign. You head off.
Wrong
That's it.
campaign.
So you get back to the paddock. And so it is.
And then, upon seeing Mo, being the worried uncle that I was, I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna slap him.
Oh, that's all my hit points. I'm dead.
Fucking mileage you're going to get out of that one, eh?
Man, that's my temporary hit points.
Where were you? Why didn't you tell me where you were? I was worried sick.
Who are you?
It's me, Unky. Remember?
You're too short to be my uncle.
Oh.
I'll call you little brother. You look like a pirate. Little brother.
Well, I am.
Oh, you're-
Whatever. I'm just glad to see you're okay.
Oh, that's pretty
Come on.
cool. Hey, what's your pirate life like?
I'll tell you later. We have much.
Oh, speaking of which, I need some money.
I have none, and we have to leave for the race. Enough is enough. Get to your room.
All right then, little brother. Only because I respect you, though.
I'll just shake my head and walk away and meet with the others and just see what we're doing for the last hour. See if anybody needs any help.
If Orion walks by me, I want to like laugh in my hammock.
I'm just imagining the way
Oh.
Sorth laughs. Like, how does that sound? Like a hissing Seth Rogen? Is that what it was?
I'm just gonna look over to Sorth upon hearing this and give him a death glare.
I'm gonna roll over.
I was doing stings and shit. Oh my god, it's evolved.
And I'll also inform Laz and Barium that the payment's been made discreetly, without Bjorn hearing me.
I'm glad to hear.
Bear with me. As you guys hear in the distance, various things still roaring, getting tested out. Various things getting ready to roll out. I'm gonna tune that down a
Arium wants to kind of go over the vehicle last minute to check, air in the tires, that fun stuff.
Yeah, by all means, you head into to task, doing the last minute rounds. Your passive investigation is
it's 13.
all right. That's good enough, I'd say. You look over the thing pretty capably. That you can tell it's set. Fuel's where it ought to be. Food's where it's sturdy. The tires are full of air. You give them a solid kick. Guns are loaded. Have ammo nearby. You note that Bjorn's got his straps set where they ought to be. You look towards the kite, where you're assuming that Orion's going to set himself to flight. You look towards the cockpit, the windshield, the seat, where Rico's going to situate himself, and you think to yourself, where are you going to be? As you look around this bus, looking amidst the framework, hearing the echoes of the engines and the roar of the beasts in the distance. The camera pans in against Barium's face. Where does he look? Where does he see himself?
Barium is more or less going to be where he needs to be. Whether he needs to be helping up top, if he needs to adjust something during the race, he's sort of gonna, freely maneuver himself about the bus.
As the camera pans against the bus, showing you walking out of it a moment later, it shows a lot of you surrounding it as Gento and Lavash walk in towards and rolling a barrel in. They situate it next to the machine, and Gento jumps up on top of it, sitting his ass down, and Lavash leans against it as he basically throws the hose that he has at his right hand over his shoulder and leans against the barrel and simply says, "We're going to top you up. It's probably time to go, huh?" And he looks over towards the bus as Gento looks towards it and says, "This is a grand day. I honestly did not expect to see this day come." He looks over towards Lavash and all of you guys. "Let's get this done." And he jumps off the barrel and gets to work. They fill up the tank a moment later as Gento then simply gives you a nod, and he walks over towards Rico, and he says a couple words in Kalashite, to which Rico simply gives a solemn nod. And when he opens his eyes, he's kind of glassy in the balls, and he shakes hands before stepping past towards the side door of the bus, getting up on top, getting up into it, and stepping up onto the cockpit area. He situates himself at the seat and grabs a hold of the levers for a second before putting on some gloves and a mask of his own. And then as he does this and he situates himself and he looks himself in the mirror, there would be a mirror on this, never mind. He looks at himself in the side mirror, I guess is what it is, and then he pulls the mask down around his neck and he looks back towards you guys as you all move into the bus one after the next, getting ready for whatever's to come. And you hear in the distance as there's an awfully loud roar of something absolutely horrendously huge as the camera pans against the lot of you situated in the bus, one after the next, assembling yourselves as you must, assembling yourselves for what is about to come. The sun is at this point pitched high in the sky, as noon is upon you. And as all of this occurs, the crowd surrounding you on all sides is suddenly made very, very apparent. As everybody gets into position and comes out of their paddocks, one after the next, a procession carrying forth towards the starting area. The crowd comes into view. As you proceed along the simple path amidst all the paddocks, you see in the distance the massive crowds. The absolutely massive crowds. As you come in towards it, you see how far it spreads. So many people having shown up for this fateful occasion. A massive send-off. The beginning of the Great Race. And as the actual race area itself, the starting area, comes into view up ahead, the cacophony of the cheers of the people truly becomes audible as it echoes at one point. But because you're in the bus, amidst the sound of the Dionysius Valvulis chuffing away, causing a massive echoing resonation in the cabin as it does, you don't hear much. What the fuck? No! Bastard. I expected things there. You let me down, you bastard. Let's try that again, eh? Situated inside the bus, though, Man, I want something very specific, and I'm not getting it here, and it's pissing me off. Is this gonna serve me well? You better, you bastard. There it is. As you come in towards this place, you can see the crowds, but you couldn't quite hear them until you come to the point, and their cheers resonate against the hull of the bus such that it's almost as if they're within the bus next to the engine with you. The thickness of the sound all around simply reverberates in and out of you as the vibration of the massive 16-valve engine situated in the center of the bus resonates out against you. Rico pitches the levers ever so slightly, bringing you slowly in towards your starting position. As you look out the windscreen, you can see up ahead the race officials out on the ground, situated such that they can direct people in. In some people's hands, they have massive wands. As you watch, nope, that's not the right sound at all. As you watch the massive, terrible lizard situate itself at one of the positions and simply give out a massive roar of arrival. No, that's not correct.
Adds a little bit loud, Julie. A little hard to hear you.
It's supposed to be epic.
It is epic.
There we go. That's a little better, right? Where was I here? And no. Shubadoo. Right. As the crowd continues to cheer, as you guys pull into your positions, you watch as the terrible lizard moves into its position, the various other vehicles, one after the next, coming into theirs. You can see the entire team of the Illustrious line themselves up as a 6-car unit, just off yonder, next to the ship, floating there ominously, with its crew working diligently to move all sorts of stuff around upon the deck last minute as the guns are rolled out on the sides, one after the next. Cannons brought to the forefront on each starboard and port bow of the ship. The camera pans against the little phallically shaped unit wherein long barrel guns are situated, pointed out of each side of the small thing. This capsule-like treaded beast. One of the guns pointed almost directly towards you. The camera continues to pan again to show the Dragor's buggy, the massive wheeled conically shaped unit situated nearby the guild Batmobile, as it were. Dune buggy Batmobile thing that I described before. And still on through the roster of racers, the camera continues to pan to show everybody, because everybody deserves equal screen time or something. With that said, though, as it pans against the bannered entryway of the race, it shows the lot of you guys situated in a little bit of a split screen where it shows like the race, and then it shows all of you guys inside the bus as you're looking out through the front towards the camera. Anybody got any one-liners?
I'm gonna climb up into the ballista station and harness myself to it. Then I'm gonna pop down my goggles. And I'm gonna tap the Koinai emblazoned on the ballista, and then I'm gonna point towards the Dragors.
It rings against the metal of the frame, and as it rings out so melodically, you look over towards the Dragors, and as they're getting themselves ready, you manage to catch the eye of one of them, who then just simply looks up as he's was tying a rope, and he finishes tying it as he stares at you. He lets go and he just sits there, and all the activity is going on all around him, and he just stares at you.
It turns into a staring contest. I'm not gonna look away first.
Roll Constitution. He rolls a 15 plus 1.
Oh, no.
No, plus 2. Sorry, plus 2.
Oh
What do you got?
12.
Oh, no!
This race is off to a terrible start.
A bit of dust kicks up into your face as a sign of things to come.
I have my goggles on though, so that's all good.
Oh, that's true, actually. Never mind. It did nothing. So, in truth, he's just staring at you, and you're like, I'm having a staring contest. And you realize he can't see your eyes. Because he's just blinking freely. He doesn't even... Okay, so anyway, the camera pans against you guys as one after the next, the vehicles move into position. These massive things that they are. And then the elephant. And what was that, Cody? What were you going to say?
Orion's going to climb up onto the roof with his wings strapped on and his new mask on his face.
Right on, yeah.
He took the time to cut his hand open and put a bloody hand mark on the mask.
Oh, sweet.
And he's just gonna like release his wings and just
All right.
wait for the gusts to take him.
Of course you are. So Squirrel Man gets himself ready as the lot of you guys, the rest of you guys, I should say, inside the bus, Mo included, I guess. What are you guys doing?
Making sure Rico is ready to go.
Rico is very ready to go. Rico is strapped in. He's fucking good. He's at home. You notice he's got a bottle around his dick and a 5-point harness. He's good for the journey. He's 100%, 110%. You know? Come rain or shine, that boy's driving fine.
If anything is needed during this race, yell for me.
I need engine and I need open road. I can handle
That's
the
what I
second
like to
one.
hear.
You make sure the first is good.
Well, when do we hit the gas? I'm ready to go.
Rico points out the windscreen. Patience, little man. Look. And sure enough, you can see there's people still getting assembled, and cheering as fucking crazy people might. Everybody's stoked about this, and racing officials are moving into position. And so the camera pans in against everything to show the momentous moment as the race machines are all lined up one after the next, prepared for the great moment. As the camera pans against the road ahead, showing the massive dusty trail. And
Fail me. I really wish this shit was in alphabetical order. This would be so much easier. As the camera pans against the open road ahead, you guys hear the massive flapping of wings and seeing the gigantic, humongously gigantic lizard roar in overhead and suddenly land down in front of you.
Oh.
As it do, as you all stare upon it, and as upon its back you see a drow fellow who in his hand has a silver cylindrical thing, and he shouts into it, "Race goers!" and his voice booms out all around you as the lizard roars out. The massive white dragon in the hot Kalimshan sun, roaring in absolute fearsome presence in front of you. Dust kicks up as he beats his wings, blasting towards you. As the fellow shouts out, "Welcome everybody to this fateful moment." And as he does this, you can see mages move in on either side and suddenly fire off color sprays that dance out with scintillating lights splashing through the atmosphere all around. Like, you know, fireworks. As this occurs, you watch as the fellow on the dragon simply rears back a hand. As it glows for a moment, he splashes out a massive geyser of blizzardly cold that splashes against the back of the lizard's head. As the lizard gives a shake of its brow, as a dog might get hit with a hose. You watch as this cone of cold splashing against the dragon is immediately turning to like water and just drenching off the back of this thing's scales, water falling off of it, splashing down into the sand, causing dust and steam to rise off the dragon and the ground where it stands. And the form figure with the cylinder simply leans back as the dragon rears up, and he says, "This fateful day we have many a racer come to pay us an honor, to seek an honor." And the dragon kind of like does one of these walking around all, you know, WWF style, WWE, sorry, style. Please don't sue. As the fellow continues on, "Today we find racers, honors brought from all corners of the desert, from the north, south, east, and west of Kalimshan. We bring you competitors that we promise will see nothing but the best of. Is that not so?" And the dragon just roars out as he walks past you all and, you know, checking you out. What up? What up? Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah. Fucking ancient worm McMahon or whatever the fuck. Vince McMahon, the ancient worm. There you go. So, after much display and pomp and announcement and speech, the dragon finally roams to the one side, and the fellow shouts out a couple of the rules to say that no aggression will be brought against those that do not wish to aggress. However, they still must face the risks of the desert. And Kalimshan is not a forgiving place, is it? And the crowd shouts out, "No!" All who are to be victimized by the desert are such disqualified should they not be able to cross the finish line within a day of the last participant. And finally, to cross the finish line, you must do so upon beast
or vehicle of some sort. And the camera pans against a lot of you guys situated in your battle bus. Rico looks over towards you. This is it. Then he lifts up his scarf over his face. And he simply looks back towards you guys. Is everybody braced? The camera trucks out through the windscreen, pulling back overhead as the dragon simply lifts himself off and lands up overhead. As the camera pans up.
Finally. God, I thought he was gonna blabber all day.
He's literally gone on for like 45 minutes. It's like 2 in the afternoon. You guys are actually taking off. The race was supposed to go off. You thought at noon. It's one of those. Fuck, hey. Anyway, there's a bunch of confetti and shit. Rice is thrown through the air. Some women come and line up and do a dance. Titties are shaking. Good times. Skin is shown. Some dudes join the fray. And so it is. There's like a bit of a ballet. They all disperse. It's now like 3 for fuck me. And with that said, you guys watch as finally there's a colored spray that fires out from one of the mages on the side. And as it explodes through the air with a splash of color that suddenly you realize is resembling the crest of Memnon. It explodes through the air. And the crowd cheers. As a moment later, the fellow on the back of the dragon shouts out through his metal cylinder, "Is everybody prepared?" And finally, the crowd starts to quiet down a little bit before cheering ever so loudly again. As everybody's engine swells, the beasts roar. And Rico pushes the levers forth just slightly, and you guys hear it grinding at the back, and you notice that he's got the pedal down on the brake while he's pushing the throttle forth. And you can feel the back end of the bus start to shift slightly as suddenly the mages release one final shot of colored spray. And as it ignites green, Rico simply shouts out, "Here we go!" As he cranks the levers forth, and everybody can roll me a dexterity check at advantage, because this time you're ready for it. As the bus hurtles forward, Mo, where are you situated in the bus? Bjorn, where are you situated? Barium, where are you situated in the bus? And Laz, where are you situated in the bus?
I am currently beside Rico.
Okay, fair enough. That works for me. So you got handlebars and whatnot around where you're situated like this. Mo, where are you at?
Near the windows.
Alright, that's fine. You got railing against the walls. And Laz, what are you up to?
Laz is probably somewhere between the 2 levels, just keeping an eye out, kind of like at the top half of me hanging out the manhole to get up top.
Okay,
just to
gotcha.
take it all in as we get started.
I'm down with that. Alright, that's fantastic. So you're good. You're surrounded all around. The bus takes off like a damn shot, spraying up dirt all around behind it. It hurtles away as fast as the engine can carry a massive 6-wheeled beast. As it hurtles along, screaming through the sands, all around you, you can see various vehicles start to jockey as you guys quickly leave behind the lizard as it tromps along. This thing trucks flying forth as you guys watch a singular unit come weaving between all of you. This thing just flies past, weaving as it might. And finally, flying overhead, this thing heads past all of you altogether with whatever crew that it has. Finally, we watch as this guy comes trundling as the camera pans yonder. Oh shit, I forgot that guy's driver. Where... You know what, this guy will do. Actually, no, we'll use this guy. And... Here we go. This works.
Anyone else turned on by that dragon?
What?
Just me.
As the camera pans against, showing these guys making the distance suddenly, and the camera continues. As it continues along, watching a lot of you guys racing along as fast as Rico's willing to push it right now. You guys watch him for a moment, and Rico simply holds it steady, looking back towards you guys, and then out the windscreen of looking back towards you guys every so often while he keeps his focus on the windscreen. Every so often you can see he takes a survey around, but he doesn't deviate. He holds it steady. Oh, hang on. You guys leave the crowd behind ever so fast as the engines carry the battle bus forth and the vehicles all around you spread and coalesce as you guys make your way along a path that widens and narrows as it might. Cliffs on either side, ravines on either side, as the terrain continues to undulate and change on all around you. You hurtle along at such speeds that you can't even believe. As Rico holds it steady, moving along, he easily and smoothly keeps it a distance away from the opposition, whilst letting them have some distance at the front and keeping it ahead of those behind. As the wind blasts through your hair, Orion and Bjorn, you look around you with a more clear view than even your companions to see that in truth you are in fairly close quarters with everybody. The most distance that you have on either side, it would seem, would be maybe 50 or so feet at a time. With the massive stretch of desert all around you, you hurtle forth. The question becomes, what are you doing during this kind of moment of calm, if you will, where everybody is just getting their bearings, hurtling along on the straight stretch that you can see so far?
I'm gonna count how many is in front of me and how many are behind.
Okay. Currently you've got the T-Rex and the elephant behind you. And you've got the Dragors off to the one side. It looks like, what the hell was their name? The Ostax off to the right. And, the ship is easily about a quarter mile ahead of you guys and flying high. That is to say, it rests about 30 feet off the ground. And all the rest of the wagons and engined vehicles are moving at about the same clip. Everyone seems to be a fairly experienced driver at this, and they're not willing to push it too fast. Although, the truth is, you're all moving extremely fast. We're talking probably about, I don't know, easily like 140 kilometers an hour across the desert. So, I mean, at least in some cases. But yeah, the bus is just crazy fast as it screams across the desert. The engine is incredibly loud, despite being as muffled as it is with the shielding that Barium set up. It still causes the place to vibrate and resonate, although you can easily talk and hear one another, as opposed to if you'd not done that. Point being, though, as the battle bus careens across the desert, Rico keeps her steady for the however long, and it's looking like all is going to be well. It's looking like the Dragors are going to keep their distance. And that's when the phallic little tank decides that you need to go. As you guys are rolling along, Rico notices it almost right away and shouts out, "Brace yourself!" And who's got a passive perception of 12 or better? Fucking two of you, that's how many.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Not it.
Sorth. Sorth hears it as Rico shouts out, brace yourselves. At which point, you'll get advantage, and Bjorn, you're already alright. You can see it happening up above, but the camera pans sidelong.
You said passive perception of 12 or better?
Yes.
Oh, then Laz is in.
Laz has it too?
Got
Okay,
13.
Terrific, actually. With that, you see the phallic machine coming in towards you as well. Hang on, sorry. Let me get the top on there, just to make it look even more ridiculous. As the camera pans along to show a lot of you guys racing along, this thing comes as such, coming in close towards you. You can see easily as they're about to line themselves up to take a shot upon. At least you expect so, as the two guns that they have on this side of their vessel come pointed directly at you. With that in mind, Bjorn, your insight tells you that this is about to happen. It's go time. As Rico's driving best he can along, the first shot goes off with an 8+ bonus. Their gunner unleashes a shot towards you. No, that's not correct. That's not correct. Pardon me a moment. Where? No, come on. Where's my damn guns? Where's my cannon?
Back.
Oh, there we go. There. The shot's flying past, exploding in the dirt ahead of the machine. Rico easily steers around them, expertly leveraging the levers, such that the Odysseus slows the machine down as he brings it around easily enough. 6 wheels kicking up dirt around the explosion as you guys roast past. The machine comes in close enough as Bjorn, the camera pads against your face, as you see this machine come hurtling in towards you.
I'm gonna grimace and swing the ballista towards them. And if it's able to rotate that far, I'm gonna take a shot at him.
You swing the ballista in towards them as the camera cuts to black.
Damn it!
It's like 11 o'clock, sorry guys.
Yeah.
But with that said, I think it's a pretty good place to end off.
Yeah.
As the camera freeze frames there, showing the grimace on your face, it then cuts to showing Rico's face with the same grimace as he's driving, sternly holding the levers, and then cuts to who else is grimacing? I have no idea. You tell me. Players, who's grimacing?
I'll grimace since I know what's about to happen.
Not me. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Orion's just smirking. He's just so pumped that this is finally happening.
Fair enough. And with that, Sean's out for the moment. So, Rick, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What's your report? What's the least?
I like that we're finally in the race. I'm loving all the action, all of the twists and turns in the story between different characters. I am, on a personal note, happy that I got this avatar working.
That's
It's
sweet,
pretty
actually.
fun.
It's hilarious.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
They all died.
What?
Yeah, everybody
They made us.
CDK'd.
Yeah.
Rico
No one
crashed. That was it.
That was a time-based, event, and you missed it, and you got us all killed.
Oh, that happens.
I was like, press X not to die, and only Sean can do it, and nobody was here named Sean to press X. So, that was it. Everyone said, level 1 next session.
New campaign. Yeah, I'm gonna base this one in My Little Pony. Anyway, so what'd you hate?
Me?
No, Rick.
Oh, I was like,
Wait, what were you asking?
What'd you not like?
Can't really think of anything.
Fair enough.
I'm just excited for the next installment next week because of actions happening already.
Yeah, it's like all race. Get ready for like a long race.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With that said, Cody, what'd you like? What'd you hate? Was released?
I like that. I finally realized that my voice mod wasn't connected to the Zoom. So this whole time, it wasn't doing anything. But anyways, I got that figured out. But I really liked the. I liked the kind of the further build up, and like the final just the finality of like, you have 12 hours and then we're gonna be in the desert and whatever happens out there happens.
Right.
So I liked how that finally that chapter's been closed now, and it's like now you're on your own kind of thing. Like it's kind of official. It was interesting how the Rico situation went down, and it would have been very interesting if he would have died somehow. Like if we wouldn't have been able to cure him, I don't know what we would have done in terms of a driver. Yeah, I didn't really hate anything. I'm just really excited to get the race started, and that was a great way to end it.
Right on. Alex, what'd you like? What'd you hate? Was released?
I had a lot of fun with the whole Rico drunk scene to hospital scene. That whole bit was a lot of fun, and I also really enjoyed watching the whole plan develop with the Thieves Guild and how that all played out. So I'm curious to see the payoff there.
Mm-hmm.
If I disliked anything, it was maybe one too many sessions of edging. Like it's been like a month.
I know, right? Fuck, I wanted to be in the desert, and then I was like, oh, this happens. We'll get in the desert.
Yeah.
2 hours later.
But, yeah, it was a lot of fun, though.
Fair enough.
You need to add that to your soundboard, that like SpongeBob thing. It's like 2 hours later.
Right? It's true, actually. I should dig out a couple of those stings. I end up with like 9 soundboards going here. Sean, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What's released?
no, I like the opportunity throughout for different interactions, changing the plan.
Fuckery. It's called fuckery.
Repeatedly missing cues to not piss off the Pasha.
That was
It worked
great.
out. It
You're
worked
like,
out.
here's good advice. That is good advice. So this is me ignoring it completely.
So, no, but it was really the little things for me are always the best part. When it was like, hey, I didn't think about the fact that Bjorn probably is concerned about the food, and is now like accosting the DoorDasher.
That's funny. That's
and
funny.
him not wanting to rob another priest, and it makes sense with his character, and all those bits and pieces are really important to the story. So it was really good. But I agree. I do have to agree with the fact of I just want to hit something, really.
No, for sure. I'm totally there. I'm totally 100% there.
I'm guessing that's why you started us off like. 3
Yeah, I was
minutes
like,
into the race
Pasha,
with
say
the-
goodbye. Fuck that. That's time spent. Let's get in there. Fuck, I got no time for that shit. Pasha don't got no time for that. There'll be a montage later. We'll catch up on that. The specifics of like, there's an after credit scene. Here it is. He's like, yeah, you go out, you kick ass, chew bubble gum, and he gives you a stick of dentine. Like that's it. I'm good with that. Let's go. You know. The most I needed was Lavash and Gento being like, hey, let's do it. It's time to go. Honestly, it's a bit of an oversight on my part that I didn't have the Pasha come out and, at least wag his dick at you or something. I don't know.
Oh, got his money. That's the important part, you know.
I mean, let's be honest. Right on. Alex,
Daddy's money.
Alex, would you like what you was proposed least?
I liked the whole thing with Rico and the kind of different take you took with the Dragors. Every time we've encountered them, it's always been like a mano-a-mano thing. It's always been a show of force. But this time they were sly about it, and they poisoned him. So I thought that was a cool little thing with them. I'm kind of really curious to see if we're going to be able to get this second vehicle. And who the hell's going to drive it if we do. Like, we don't have a crew big enough to man this thing. So that should be cool.
Yeah, hopefully it comes with the crew.
Yeah, as long as they didn't get killed halfway through. We didn't pay for the crew, we paid for a ship.
That's right.
I gotta put so much more glue on that thing and feel it like already trying to break apart again. I gotta epoxy it together is what I gotta do.
I'm super stoked that that we're starting the race now. It was a great build up, but now it's like it's go time. Like, let's do this.
I'm ready.
I wasn't gonna let it go into another session by chance of like prep work. It was like, no, this has to happen.
This has to.
Yeah. Like I said, I wanted to be in the race 2 months ago. You know, it was supposed to be you get engine, you get frame, you get thing, you're in race. It was supposed to be like that. Like
that was supposed to be the short part.
Yeah, it's just this is why nothing of mine ever gets released. Like if I'm making something, this is exactly why. It was just supposed to be a simple game.
We took a couple of U-turns along the way.
I didn't help. I was like, hey, you want another one? You want another U-turn? Here's a U-turn. Look, this one's got 3 points to it. It's a double U-turn.
You're like, here's the main gate, but here's the side door.
Yeah.
What's in there?
I'm the sort of guy that you know how in games you'll have like the main route and then there's always that side route that's got some treasure. Mm-hmm. And in modern games, pathetically, there's the treasure route and the main route. And so everyone knows you go the main route for a little while and then, oh, it's the main route. Okay, so you go back to the other route, but you weren't sure if it was the main route. Now that you know it's not the main route, you go there and you get the treasure, and then you go back to the main route. And sometimes there's no treasure, and that just means that that's somewhere you're going to end up coming around to later, like the developers think they're clever. And so that's kind of just it with this, isn't it? You know, the side quests and whatnot. That way. Anyway, I don't mean to steal the moment there. But yeah. Kind of gets kind of obvious. That said, Ben, would you like what you hate? Was your was least?
I like the hospital scene where I completely failed at trying to do what I do best, because my my stats were into like deceiving people and like persuasion, and I completely failed at that. And that was pretty funny to me. I'm glad we finally got back in the race. And that's about it.
Brenna? Good stuff, good stuff.
I can't wait to slap you more.
I know, we'll sit there and laugh.
I'm ready for you to roll a crit on me.
I need a super slap.
I'm glad everybody had fun. I think everybody had fun. Everybody had fun?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's always fun, bro.
Everybody takes 400 experience. Simple. Nothing special happened. Actually, 450 because you guys rescued Rico, so another 50.
Oof.
I mean, Rico is his own reward, but you know.
Could you imagine Laz driving again?
Not compared to that. Hey, I got a trivia question for the group now.
All right.
Because this actually was one that I used during the week. I run a quiz thing for my office to get everybody, back together. We hang out and have drinks at like 5 o'clock at the end of a Friday. And one of the questions had come up because we were doing transportation, and Dooley had mentioned it earlier, a cannonball run. Do you guys all know what a cannonball run is?
Nope.
Have to Google it.
Yeah, so Cannonball Run is a race that goes from a certain parking garage in New York City all the way across the U.S. to a resort in California. 2,800 miles. Or that, what would that be? Like 4,000 kilometers or 4,400 or something like that. So,
Close, yes.
so here's the question: what is the record for doing that drive in terms of time?
Ooh.
Give me your ballpark, and I'll give you plus or minus
40 hours.
20 minutes.
Shut the
You
front door.
40 hours?
If it's like 4,000 kilometers, it took us like 3 days to do that, 2.5 days.
Yes. What's the record?
You'd have to be
That's like a
hauling
trip,
ass.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it'd be like
28 hours and 30
42
minutes.
hours.
28. What do we got here?
Actually, it'll take me like 2 minutes to walk it.
It is 25 hours and 39 minutes.
Damn.
I was fairly close.
And they actually said it during the pandemic because the roads were empty. They took advantage of it. They took a
Nice.
car. If I recall, they ripped out. They like completely emptied the tank and they emptied everything but the driver's seat and the passenger seat and put a huge fuel cell in there and just bombed. I think their average speed was 110 miles an hour.
Damn.
They took
Damn.
advantage.
Yeah, it was
How'd
crazy.
you
Yeah.
set that unbeatable record?
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
how.
it's just crazy the people that have done it. But yeah,
What's the
that
guy's
that was on
name,
our quiz this week. So
It's a
That's
guy's
cool.
name Wayne Gretzky.
No,
He
it's
holds
Burt
all the
Reynolds.
unbeatable records.
That's a sick.
it's like
that's
two
wild.
college kids.
They did it in the winter
They're
too.
just bored.
What? They did that in the wintertime?
Yeah,
Jeez.
Wow, then in that case, they can be improved.
It says they took a Porsche Taycan with a large battery.
Oh, is a
aerodynamic
Porsche? It
wheels,
can totally be improved.
and massaging seats.
You want massaging seats? You can drive a
Oh
Mercedes.
man, that's
it's fine.
funny.
Take a Mercedes with a real engine. Dude, that's sick though. That's a hell of an achievement. Beats anything PlayStation's gonna give you.
it's a crazy freaking number.
That is,
To,
that
average,
is
to average 110 across
is-
the entire time.
fast. Is
Yeah,
what that
Means you're
is.
cooking. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Well, right on, gentlemen. I'm glad everybody had fun. We'll open up with this next week. And until then, Mayor 20 is always land on 20.
Awesome.
Have a good night,
Thanks,
all.
Dooley.
Have a good night,
Thanks,
everyone.
man.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Cheers.
They don't
Thank
land
you.
on 20.
I,
Cheers,
Have a
guys.
good
I
night,
hope yours
everybody.
land on honey when you
Yeah.
slap me again.
All right, have a good one.
Later,
Thanks,
all.
Julie.
Later.
Cheers. My
Thanks,
pleasure.
dude.
If you like what you see, we stream every Monday. This week we're streaming on Thursday, Monday. I think that's it. Yeah. So Monday and Thursday from 7:30, 8ish until whenever we finish, like around now-ish. And yeah, as I said earlier, if you like what we see, we hope to see you tune in again. Until next time, Mayor 20's always land on 20.